Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Malaysia Superbike Championship 2022 season. I'm here with Nasha and myself, Daniel Bogus.
Hi Daniel, morning.
Morning.
Apa khabar?
Khabar baik, Alhamdulillah.
So hari ni kita dah start Facebook Live di Facebook Malaysia Superbike Championship. So yang baru saja masuk, yang baru saja tengok, korang like and share dulu Daniel.
That's right.
Sebab pagi ni kita ada apa?
Qualifying and the race as well. This morning we're starting straight away at 9:30 with the qualifying for the MSBK250cc category, followed by MSBK600 and the MSBK1000. Tapi we have something interesting behind this.
Kat belakang kita ni Daniel, apa ada kat belakang ni? Nampak lain banyaknya motor, Guys, korang tahu tak, dekat perlumbaan MSBK ada kategori baru iaitu YAMAHA Y160ZR MasterClass, Daniel.
That's right.
30 biji. Ini bukan budak-budak baru tau yang bawa motor. Ini semua rider expert yang bawa motor ni.
We saw as well a very experienced name, Faris Hafiz. He was the fastest yesterday for the Y16 class, and it's amazing to see all these names out here in the one-make championship.
Selain daripada Faris Hafiz, kita ada Syukran Aizat, kita ada Syafiq Rosli, nama-nama yang sering kita lihat di perlumbaan Malaysian Cup Prix dan juga Asia Road Racing.
That's right.
So, ini memang perlumbaan masterclass. Orang kata kalau korang nak tengok macam pergi konvoi ramai dia 30 biji. Tapi short dia semalam memang short.
It was amazing to watch.
So kepada peminat-peminat Y16 ke yang ada guys tengah tengok Facebook Live ni, pastikan korang kena nantikan. Hari ni diorang ada kontes juga. Yamaha buat kontes dekat Yamaha Motor Malaysia. Yamaha Racing Malaysia.
Yes, sorry.
That's right. Maafkan saya. Ya, dia ada hadiah tumbler. Nanti kita akan tunjuk. Untuk qualifying ada satu, race 1 ada race 1 ada 2. Nanti kita akan baca info dan korang pergi dekat Facebook Yamaha, korang boleh tengok macam mana nak menang. And then kena komen dekat page Yamaha, jangan komen dekat live tau.
And do not comment on the MSBK page or the live, only at Yamaha Racing Malaysia Facebook page.
Yep. Okay, jadi kita dah dengar bunyi motor kan Daniel kan?
That's right, I see some 250cc riders coming out.
Okay, so kita jumpa kejap lagi bersama dengan Daniel.
Once again, a very warm welcome back to the Malaysia Superbike Championship 2022 season. It is a very nice, clear, sunny morning at the Sabang International Circuit, and here we're looking at one of the fastest riders of yesterday, Muhammad Irfan Haikal. He was fastest yesterday with a time of 2. Muhammad Irfan Haikal yesterday, he gapped himself between Muhammad Faris Hafi Farid Sesli by 0.7 seconds, so quite a significant gap for the rider who's taking charge of the CBR 250 RR. Irfan Haikal's debut season, he is one of the names to really look out for. He's had such great performances in the Cup pre-season. In MSBK 250 class, he's riding aboard the Bunsu Honda racing team CBR 250 RR. Now we watch him there as he takes through turn 14 down into the front straight. Now this is going to be a crucial part for the race later on this afternoon and for tomorrow on Sunday. We're going to see a lot of battles, especially in the 250s. And don't forget, we have the Y16 one-make race as well. That's going to be an exciting race because we're going to see 30 riders all in the same machinery, all with different tactics. And there's nothing to split them except for pure talent and skill. For now, here comes Irfan Haikal for his first flying lap. Let's see what he does. Comes across at a decent 2:32.9. That's a fast time. They would have put him top 3 anyways yesterday, and that's not even his fastest time yet. So Irfan Haikal definitely one to look out for all the competitors. Not far behind him, that's Faris Putra. Faris Putra, of course, he's an experienced rider from the Ovale SIC Racing Championship. He was third fastest yesterday for the SIC Racing team with a 2:33.223. Behind him there is his teammate Emil Izhar Ezwan. Both of them lapping more or less in the same 2:33s. So they'll be looking to try and reduce the charge of Irfan Haikal. So for the list of riders who will be joining us this weekend for the MSBK 250, we have Muhammad Irfan Haikal, Muhammad Faris Hafi Farid Sesli, Faris Putra, Muhammad Fadil, Emil Izhar Ezwan, Muhammad Zakir Nakiuddin, Batil Ashish Hasmukabai, Ahmad Faris Zafri, apologies, Muhammad Fauzi Hassan, Muhammad Nur Haikal, Saidatul Zakira, Siti Nur Shafia, as well, and completing 12 riders is Muhammad Zul Husni. Now if you're wondering why we had looking at the two teammates as we come down the line, Emil Izhar as well as Faris Putra, both feeding off each other's slipstreams there. Emil Izhar, of course, is going to get the better drive with the slipstream from the likes of Faris Putra. They come into turn 50 now, a bit of a moment there for Emil Izhar. Of course, this is actually a very important session. They've had the practice sessions yesterday, but we're broadcasting the qualifying and the races today with you. They come across the line now, Emil Izhar. Just one chase time, he's going to get a good pull. He goes second fastest. Faris Putra, he's down in third. 2:34 and 2:35 respectfully. But it still puts the likes of Irfan Haikal fastest by 2 seconds. And not far behind them is Mohammad Zakir. He's just gone up into 4th. As well as Patel Ashish. He's in 5th now with Tim Haikal. I'm just wondering where Irfan Haikal is on track. He was somewhere ahead of the SSC Racing Team riders, if I'm not mistaken. Looking to improve on his remarkable time yesterday. For those who are Capri fans, you guys will know how much of a talent Irfan Haikal has been this season. We're looking at Patel Ashish from the United CRA Motorsports India. Is the likes of Zakir Nakyuddin. Zakir Nakyuddin, he's no stranger in the MSBK 250 category. He'll be looking to improve further and put on the charge of the front runners in the likes of the SIC Racing Team as well as the Booster Honda Racing Team. Not too bad was Mohammad Zakir yesterday. He was 5th fastest with a 2:39.366. Down the order, the fastest at the MSBK 250B yesterday was Ahmad Faris Zafri. He's of course one of the, well, let's say not really veterans, but he's definitely a very experienced rider in the 250 category in the MSBK Championship. But now we're looking back at Mohammad Zakir Nakyuddin. Takes turn 4 there, smooth as he comes through, pushes uphill. Mohammad Zakir Nakyuddin, he's otherwise known as Wafi amongst the community. First round, turn 12, no drama. Into turn 12, 13, 14. This is the crucial sector for the 250s. This is where you really have to put the throttle down as much as you can and just move the bike with all your might. So Mohammad Zakir Nakyuddin, he just come across the line and improved further, 2:37.633. Yesterday's practice sessions, I was the fastest in both practice sessions. Practice 2 was her fastest session, the 250.9 was there. Did a 253.502 there in practice 1. You were looking once again at Ahmad Faris Zafri, number 26, fastest yesterday of 2:40.785 for him. He'll be looking to capitalize on that. Good outing yesterday. Let's see what he does on this lap. Takes turn 1, no drama there. Into turn 2, looking very calm and composed is Ahmad Faris Zafri. But now we have 16 minutes left in the MSBK 250 qualifying session. We're looking down turn 3, the downhill run, before you have this uphill stretch into turn 4. A very crucial spot. Now it doesn't look too dramatic on screen in terms of incline and decline, but I can tell you for a fact that it is much more menacing looking when you're on the bike. Now into turn 5 is Ahmad Faris. For him, this is another very crucial spot for the 250s. Can you go flat out before you go into the flip into turn 6, and how early can you get on the gas full into the run into turn 7 and 8? Now, of course, that is a challenge with the 250cc class. It is much lighter and they don't have the power for the bike compared to the likes of the 600s or the 1000s. So it is a matter of how much can you hold on to the rolling speed, how much of the throttle you can really apply all throughout your laps. For now, we're looking at the heartbreaking turn of turn 8. Apologies, turn 9 into turn 10. The run up into turn 11, another very crucial spot, a very fast flowing right-hander for Ahmad Faris Zafri. Goes down now into turn 12, and let's see how his timing's looking. He's about to hit 2 minutes, so this should be a decent lap from Ahmad Faris. Back down at the back straight now, and the run down into turn 15 is where the riders like to hug that pit wall to try and, well, there is a myth that it reduces drag to a certain extent, but sometimes they also just line up the line better. But here comes turn 15 for Ahmad Faris Zafri. Fastest yesterday in the 250B category. Let's see what he does as he comes across. Yesterday he did a timing of 2 minutes 44.7, but it looks like it's going to be much slower for him on this lap. Perhaps just a warm-up lap on that one, a 248.439. This is a nice battle already looking in qualifying, even though it's only qualifying, but that's a taste of what we might get in the race later. The 3 SIC Racing Team riders all hunting down the likes of Muhammad Irfan Haikal. They're all chasing him now. So Irfan Haikal, he's going to get the pressure on, thinking whether or not they're going to be able to improve by fooling him. But it looks like Faris Shafi, he's gone fastest earlier with a 2 minute 32.045. Of wobble there for Faris Shafi. We're keeping it under control into turn 1, but this is pressure now for Irfan Haikal. He needs to hit the 2 minute 31s as he did yesterday, but for now he's got the 3 SIC Racing Team riders all behind him, and we know, ooh, masses of wobble there for Faris Shafi. My goodness, that is a tricky spot to deal with wobbles, but for now, it's still Irfan Haikal Amidi who leads the trio of the SIC Racing Team riders. He's going to really need to try and pull the gap on there, because they're going to get lovely slipstream down on the back straight from him. For now, here we're looking once again at Faris Shafi. Still the fastest time of 32.045. No one's broken below that in today's morning session. Once again at Faris Shafi. He's going to see the 2 teammates in front of him, Faris Putra as well as the likes of Emil Itzhar. And Irfan Haikal, he's getting chased down like a pack of wolves. The SIC Racing Team is hunting him down. Turn 9 now as they run up into turn 10. Ooh, Faris Shafi all over the place there. Yeah, he's just lost all the momentum, and it looks like not just him, his teammate as well has just lost it at turn 9. And that's the likes of Emil Itzhar there. So it looks like it won't be an improving lap for the likes of Emil Itzhar or Faris Shafi, but I'm pretty sure Faris Putra, he got away and he's still chasing Irfan Haikal there. So just under 11.5 minutes left. These are the crucial parts, apologies, of the qualifying session. This is crunch time. The riders have to make it or break it now. You can see down there, Irfan Haikal, he's just gotten through the last turn with the likes of Faris Putra chasing him down from behind as they run into turn 15. But it looks like Irfan Haikal has just been able to keep the distance between himself and the likes of Faris Putra. So what happens here? Faris Shafi there
front of his teammate Emil Itzar. Bit of a twitch there for Farid Shafi. Irfan Hakal, he does improve a little bit, but not by much. Faris Putra, he goes faster into third position. So he's provisionally in front row on the grid. Irfan Hakal, once again, he's pulled the gap between himself and Faris Putra. You would really think that they would benefit from the slipstream by being behind Irfan Hakal, but somehow Irfan Hakal is just keeping them at bay. That CBR250 double R machine is just absolutely perfect for him down the straight. Again, more wobble there for the likes of Farid Shafi. I wonder whether that's setup issues for him, because every time he's going into any fast flowing corners, he's just wobbling all over the frame. You can see Mohamed Haikal, he's come up for another few laps. He was 9th fastest, 3rd fastest in his category for the MSBK250B. Less than 10 minutes left now in MSBK250 qualifying session. Just a few laps for these riders to complete before we have the conclusion of qualifying and the starting grid for the race later on this afternoon. But for now, there's a real fight going on here. The fight for the front row of the grid, fight for pole position. You can see the 4 front runners all trying to bunch up together and feed off each other's slipstream. It looks like someone has latched on behind Irfan Haikal. I believe that's Faris Putra. It is Faris Putra down at turn 9. They've all come together now. Irfan Haikal is going to have to make the tough decision of whether or not to keep pushing on this lap or to let these riders pass so he doesn't accidentally give them an advantage coming through. You can see Faris Putra, he's going to get great slipstream down the back straight. But once again, as I said, the CBR250 is just so strong down the straights. They have such great top speed that it just makes the Kawasaki struggle a bit more trying to keep up with him. But Faris Putra, he's looking really good. If this was a race situation, it would definitely be striking distance. But for now, he needs to think about getting the fastest lap possible. And you can see the 3 SIC Racing Team riders clear with the room in front of them to line up, get the slipstream, and improve further. For now, Faris Putra, he's going to get great slipstream behind Irfan Haikal. Looks like he's about to cut through. But now we're looking at Patil Ashish down at the pits. And I think Faris Putra has made it past Irfan Haikal. He's going to be on a decent lap as he comes across the line. Looks like Irfan Haikal, he's just dropped out of the picture. I think he's realized what's happening, and that's a bit too late, but looks like that those laps were really much slower. I wonder what happened to Irfan Haikal there. Very interesting. No idea what happened to Irfan Haikal. Ooh, moment there for Emil Itzar. But yeah, Irfan Haikal, he's just disappeared from the frame. I didn't see him going towards the pits, so I'm wondering if something happened there for Irfan Haikal. But for now, it's the 3 SIC Racing Team riders all riding together. Faris Putra there at the front. Oh, there's Irfan Haikal. So he's pitted, and I think he's giving some feedback to the teams, but to the mechanics, apologies. But for now, he's only got 7 minutes and a bit left, so not much time at all for him to make it out on track and do another fast lap. So it looks like might be suspension issues from the way he described his bike's maneuver. So if they're able to make quick slight adjustments, they'll be able to get him out on track for at least another 1 or 2 laps. But for now, he is provisionally 2nd. Of course, the SSC Racing Team will be hoping that Emil Itzar can just cut in to the top 3 to ensure. Apologies, not just Emil Itzar, Faris Putra as well. He needs to improve greatly because they would love to lock out the front row of the grid. But for now, we're looking at Mohamed Fauzi Hassan. He's another one who's a regular here at the MSBK 250 category, number 66. From the Soto Somoza Racing Team. He did a 247.655 yesterday. Here's Mohamed Nur Haikal, Mohamed Nur Fikri. For the YZF Yamaha YZF R25, a 247.269 for him. Not too bad. He was 3rd fastest yesterday for the MSBK 250B group. So Irfan Haikal, he's mounted back onto his bike, but he's only got 6 minutes left, so he'll just have maybe at the most 2 flying laps, but that's really pushing it. I think he's going to just get 1 really good flying lap, so he's going to have to really push it on that one, and he's going to have to get the heat into the tires on this out lap to be able to push hard on that, because he's not gonna have a slipstream most likely when he comes out, unless he manages to latch himself behind this group. And it looks like the tail is being painted perfectly for him, because I think he's gonna come out right behind this trio, and they come across the line. No improvements from the three of them, all running in 234s. Ooh, but it looks like Farish Hafi, he's improved to a 2-minute 31.488. That's his fastest time of the weekend, so it's a good improvement from the likes of Farish Hafi. It's known as 14. For now, Irfan Haikal still looking comfortable in second. He's definitely come out because we saw him getting ready to be pushed up by the team. For now, we're looking at Ahmad Faris. He's done a 2:45.1. Not as fast as he was yesterday, but still a pretty decent time. There you can see Irfan Haikal. He's down there in turn 3, while these riders are already entering the apex of turn 4. For now, we're looking at the timing splits of 3 riders: Emil Itzar, Faris Putra, and Farish Hafi. By the looks of it, Irfan Haikal will probably just manage to get 2 flying laps. We will have to see what the time is when he comes across the line to start his flying lap. For now, Farish Hafi, number 19 for the SIC Racing Team. He's the fastest rider in this qualifying session, a 2-minute 31.488, and we have just 4 minutes left of this session. Into turn 9 is Farish Hafi, hard on the brakes. No drama, no sliding, no wobbles as we saw earlier just now. As I said, it was a bit of a twitch there. That 3 moment fastest for Irfan Haikal. I don't think he's going to be able to latch behind this group and really feed off the slipstream of them. But we know that he is capable of doing great times on his own as well. So let's watch as these riders come around turns 13 and 14. Farish Hafi looks smooth. Just about to say smooth. Farish Hafi, big moment there for him. Looked like he was just about to lose the front, but he managed to control it in spectacular fashion, and he's going to get slipstream behind Saidato Zakira as well, so he might make that time back, and it might be a very good time indeed for Farish Hafi, who's already fastest in this session. And let's see as he come around turn 15. I think his teammates might be disturbed a bit in their line, because Saidato Zakira, she's going to be in the racing line as well. For now, here comes Farish Hafi. He comes across the front straight, takes the start finish line, but it's a 31.7, a decent time, but not enough to improve further. Faris Putra and Emil Itzar as well, good times for them, 32.3 and 32.1. There's Irfan Haikal. He started his flying lap, so I think he will just make it into 2 laps. So here he comes, number 21 for the Boontsu Honda Racing Team. Just here we follow Irfan Haikal. So he's got a bit of a chase for him. He's going to have Saidato Zakir in front of him, so he can try and get her slipstream and just help himself out a little bit with some speed. Comes around nicely through it to turn 4. Because Irfan Haikal, he's trying to chase the slipstream of the SIC Racing Team riders, but he's got a bit of a gap between himself and the trio. It is for all Irfan Haikal, tough to whether or not this process coming through Faris Putra is free. Tough. Give Faris Putra straight, front down hot speed, trying to keep race down. This them to an improved feet slip through. Until down in the and comes across it. For the frame of my audience, he's only been able to make it out, choose from there. He'll be able to want to put back once again with the action. Irfan Haikal there really pushing it. He's past the likes of the SSC Racing Team riders behind there. They've let him pass through, but he's going to be on a good lap. Comes across a 2-minute 31.154 for Muhammad Irfan Haikal Amidi on his first flying lap out from coming into the pits, and now he's got another lap to push on for it. He's looking at provisional pole for now, and this young rider is really a talent to look out for. He's nearly matched his fastest time yesterday, and despite the SSC Racing Team riders improving, the likes of Farish Hafi, Irfan Haikal has just shut the front door on them, and now it looks like Farish Hafi, he's going to try and feed off the slipstream of Irfan Haikal. I don't think he would have known that Irfan Haikal has just overtaken him in terms of lap times, but he's definitely going to try and push on for it and try to capitalize on having Irfan Haikal in front of him. But I don't think Farish Hafi, because his timing is remarkably slower. I think he slowed down somewhere, and that's really taken a hit on his lap time. That's just a glitch, or that's actually the picture that we're getting for now. But here's Irfan Haikal with Farish Hafi in front of him. First and second on the grid provisionally for now. The checker flag has come out, so once these riders come across, that will be the conclusion of this session. But let's follow them into turn 9 now. In front of them is Faris Putra. He's done a decent few laps in this session, and here comes Farish Hafi. Looks like he's just trying to disturb Irfan Haikal's lap time for now. He's trying to push on forward. Irfan Haikal's going to see a face full of the rear tire of Farish Hafi. He's trying to make a move on the inside. These boys are riding like they're racing for the win right now. It's just qualifying, but this is just a small taste of what we're going to get later on in the afternoon. For now, here's Irfan Haikal. He leads in front of Farish Hafi as they go down into 12, 13, and last into 14. Irfan Haikal sitting out. It looks like Farish Hafi, he's not got the driver. Irfan Haikal's gone wide there actually, and cuts across there. That was very close between the pair of them. This is just a taste of the battle that we're gonna get later on, ladies and gentlemen. Farish Hafi, he's gotten the slipstream, but it looks like his lap time's not as fast. He's got so much wobble when he's on speed. The SSC team's really gonna have to figure that stuff out. Whoa, that's close again between the pair of them. Irfan Haikal not leaving much room at all for the pair of them. But here comes Irfan Haikal. Is it an improving lap? It looks quick for him. He comes across the line at 2-minute 31.6, a 2:37 for Farish Hafi. So the front row of the grid is secured for Irfan Haikal. Pole position, second place Farish Hafi, third place Faris Putra. And with the checker flag out, that will conclude the MSBK 250 qualifying session. And my oh my, what an exciting end to the qualifying that was. Just a taste of the action that we will get later on in the afternoon. But for now, we'll have the provisional results for the MSBK 250 qualifying. In first place and on pole for the race, Muhammad Irfan Haikal Amidi from the Bunsu Honda Racing Team, followed by the 3 SIC Racing Team riders, Muhammad Farish Hafi, Faris Putra, and Emil Itzar. In 5th place, Muhammad Zakir Nakiuddin. 6th is Patil Ashish. 7th, Muhammad Nur Haikal. 8th is Ahmad Faris Zafri. Coming in 9th is Muhammad Fauzi Hassan. 10th is Saidatul Zakira. 11th, Siti Nur Shafia. And completing 12th riders, Muhammad Zul Husni. That was a recap of the MSBK 250 qualifying, but right after this, we're gonna have the MSBK 600 qualifying session in just a few minutes time. And after that, we're gonna have the MSBK 1000 qualifying session, otherwise known as the big boys of this championship. And last but not least for qualifying, we'll have the Yamaha Y16ZR Race Masterclass qualifying, the exciting 30 rider championship in the one-make races. And after our lunch break, we'll have the races in the order of the MSBK 250 followed by the MSBK 600 1000, and we will conclude race 1 for Saturday today with the Yamaha Y16ZR Race Masterclass. So with that said, do not move anywhere from your seats. Stay tuned, we have plenty of action coming up ahead. Back with the action again with another qualifying session. This time it's for the MSBK 600cc category. There at the front we saw Sharfuddin from the Sharfuddin Azman from the SIC racing team. Not confused there. We saw his teammates all coming out as well. And SIC racing team coming in very strong in both the MSBK 250 and 600 category. But they will have to fight the charge of the Bootsiu Honda racing team, because we have the likes of Carolina Paui in first place, fastest in the combined practice times with a 2 minute 10.6, and the SIC racing team 2 minutes 11, 2 minutes 12, 2 minutes 13 respectively. Of course, Sharfuddin Azman with plenty of experience, and very successful he was when it came to the CEV championship. He was victorious in getting a podium, number of podiums actually, while he was in CEV, and he's coming back now to the Sepang International Circuit with hopes of bagging another podium here this weekend. But for now, we're looking at the two fastest riders of yesterday's practice sessions, Khairul Pawi and Azra Hakim Anwar of the Bootsiu Honda racing team. Now, the remarkable thing about the CBR 600cc this season and last season actually is the work that they've put into improving the bike and machinery into making it competitive against the likes of the Kawasaki's and the Yamahas, because They seemed to struggle previously the past few seasons, but last season was a big wake-up call, seeing that the Hondas are once again competitive in the 600cc class. They have none other than a big name up there. Ooh, looks like issues there for Nazrul Izzat of the Yamaha Gem Blue Racing Team. Issue that can be solved. They still have 36 minutes left, so plenty of time, but you can see a great work being put in by Khalid Apawi and Azra Hakim Anwar. Both the teammates, both the Honda riders working in tandem. Khalid Apawi, he seems to have the edge for this weekend. He's motivated, he's back in racing. He wants to fight for the championship. He was very strong in the Asia Road Racing Championship as well in both round 1 and round 2, and he'll be looking to make this his warm-up as we head into Sugo for the next round, coming in another 2 weeks. Ooh, coming close there is Azra with his teammate. Now we follow them into turn 11 is the pair of the Bootshu Honda Racing Team riders. Looking very composed, the both of them. Azra, as usual, very smooth operator. He can put in 10 laps, and those 10 laps will be within the fast times that he is capable of doing. But for now, he follows the rear of Khalid Apawi, the Super Kip. Of course, he was a race winner in the Moto3 World Championship. Nothing short of a legend is Khalid Apawi. But for now, we follow them down the back straight into turn 15. 35 minutes left in this qualifying session, so still plenty of time for them to make adjustments and just feel the bike and understand the track conditions as it is even better. But for now, they come across the line. It looks like it's going to be decent time to come across. 2 minute 11.6 for Khalid Apawi and Azra Hakim Anwar. A 2 minute 12.2. That was just the first flying lap. Ooh, a bit of a moment there for Khalid Apawi. But Idam is able to just control his bike there, and he's really trying to make sure his point is proven here. 2 minute 11 on his first flying lap. That's a very fast time from the number 89. Now here comes Azra Hakim Anwar. Now the roles have reversed. Azra Hakim Anwar, he's leading in front of his teammate Idam Pawi. Into turn 5-6, the pair of the Bootshu Honda Racing Team riders go. Looks like the SIC Racing Team riders have just come across Sharfuddin Azman. He's just come across with a very good time, 0.004 seconds away from the likes of Khalid Apawi's timing. Into 5-6 now at the pair of the Honda riders. So now to turn 9. Not much drama at all, not much. Ooh, just as I said, not much drama. Idam Pawi there with a huge moment on the rear. It looked almost like there was nothing, and out of nowhere his rear just completely went under him, but managed to control that in spectacular fashion. I believe we're looking at Sharfuddin Azman now, who's just got second fastest on his first flying lap, so he's gonna really charge on now. Interesting to know that last season the SIC Racing Team, they were running the Yamaha YZF R6. For this season they're running the Kawasaki ZX6R. Ibrahim Noureddin, of course, one of the very strong riders when it comes to the Kawasaki bike. Even set the lap record in the 2021 season, I believe it was, that he set the lap record momentarily because he was just on song when it came to riding the Kawasaki ZX6R. Azra Hakim Anwar, he's improved his time to a 2 minute 11.293, so Azra looking really, really strong early on in the morning today. And here we follow Muhammad Ibrahim Noureddin, of course, the younger brother of the Noureddin brothers, his elder brother Adam Noureddin, who's of course a very strong, very competitive rider. We've seen that he's had experience and he's been all around the world racing. Definitely one of those to look out for. He is a future talent. Ibrahim Noureddin is also nothing short of that. He's constantly being so impressive in every championship that he's raced in. And now we look at Sharfuddin Azman, who comes across with a 2 minute 10.956. What a time that was from Sharfuddin Azman. 2 minute 12.577 was his fastest yesterday in the combined practice times, but they have found something special for him because he has just blitzed the grid with a 2 minute 10. The only rider to dip below the 2 minute 11s for now. Now we're looking back at Idam Pawi as he comes across turn 9 into turn 10. And he's going to charge and he's going to get notified that the SIC Racing Team riders have improved remarkably. Oh, the sliding from Idam Pawi's bike there was amazing to see. You could see he was drawing black lines on the tarmac. He's really pushing on. He's been more and more aggressive every time I've seen him ride, and it's ever so impressive. He's looking a lot like his old self once again. Now running down the back straight. He's following the rear of his teammate Azroy. Calm down into turn 15. Idam Pawi there, taking the wider line into the last turn of the Sabah International Circuit. And they come across now. It's going to be a good time for Idam Pawi, I believe. This could be a 2-minute 10 for him, and it is. It's a 2-minute 10.696. He beats Sharafuddin Azman's time on the previous lap, but it looks like they're just going to be trading positions non-stop, and a bit of a slide there going into turn 1 for Idam Pawi. Here comes Nazrul Izzat. He's not had the best weekend so far. Yamaha seemed to be trailing slightly. He was the fastest on the Yamahas as well. As fastest in practice for the Yamahas at 2-minute 14.4, but they'll be needing to find a few more tenths to really keep up with. Oh, a huge moment there for Sharafuddin Azman into turn 15. Huge chatter from the front of his bike. Comes across now. It would be amazing if he sets me a faster time, but it definitely isn't. That moment definitely took quite a chunk out of for him. Let's see that replay there. He comes chattering already into turn 15 and just nearly loses it. Just manages to keep it under control. What a control that was from the likes of the talented young SIC Racing Team rider. Comes there now into turn 3. Behind him there he has Ibrahim Nordin. Ibrahim, he's gonna have seen everything that happened there in front of him, and he's gonna get a bit shaken and stirred. But for now, it's still Idam Pawi who's fastest in this session, followed by Sharafuddin Azman, followed by Azra Hakim Anwar and Ibrahim Nordin there, who we saw in the frame just now. Daniel Shami, who's as well in the MSBK 600cc category. Strong last season in the 250s, and he's made his step up into the 600s. A 2-minute 12.9 for him so far, so he's well within arm's reach of the top 4. Still needs to find quite a bit more if he's going to find himself into the top 3 fighting positions. Here we're looking at Sharul Izwan, another rider who's had good stints in the CEV category. He's done a 2-minute 14.5 has Sharul Izwan, so not disastrous by any means, but he'll be looking to find a few more seconds to really find his way up. But he's got the fastest top speed so far in this session. A 252.9 is his fastest speed down the speed trap. So that's very interesting. Perhaps a mixture of his line and his gearing and setup has allowed him to get that kind of top speed. Like a lot of the riders have come back in to the pits, perhaps to make some adjustments or just have a quick rest. They've done quite a few laps, so they're looking to just get a breather. But Ibrahim Nordin, he's improved into 3rd, pushes Azra Hakim Anwar down into 4th. So he's just done a 2-minute 11.134. So that's a really good time from Ibrahim Nordin. Azra Hakim Anwar, he's on a hot lap as well. He's got the fastest sector 1. And a really decent sector 2, so best believe there's going to be a very good lap from Azra Hakim Anwar. Here we follow Ibrahim Nordin. Keep a lookout for that number 20. It's going to pop up at any moment, and looks like he's really on a charge. Just wait and see what his sector 3 time is going to be. For now we follow Mohamed Ibrahim Nordin. As he comes across turn 5, the flip into 6. A very tricky part to hold on the throttle. And now we're looking at Sharfuddin Azman, his teammate, who's done a really good job so far to hit below the 2-minute 11s. It's still shy of Karo Idampawi's timing. But now we follow Ibrahim Nordin into turn 9. He's a very smooth, calm, and collected character. But on the bike, he's everything else and in between. He can be smooth, he can be aggressive. And Azra Hakim Anwar has just come up into second, a 2-minute 10.8, fastest sector 1 and fastest sector 4 for him. It's just sector 3 that has let him down a little bit, so that's unfortunate for him. He could have taken provisional pull there momentarily, but for him, second place as it is. Here comes Ibrahim Nordin. He's not on a particularly fast lap, not fast through sector 1, 2, or 3, so I'm not expecting this to be anything special yet. Kari Idampawi, he's just gone through sector 1 with a really fast time. He's fastest through sector 1, so keep a lookout for number 89. Now here comes Ibrahim Nordin. He's looking to go into the pits, I believe. Yes, there he goes. So perhaps some adjustments to be made. Still plenty of time for the riders to come into the pits, make adjustments, get a breather, drink a bottle of water, head back out onto the track again. But now looking at the timing splits with like Kari Idampawi, he's still on a hot lap, just waiting to see his other sector times. And apologies, no, I'm mistaken, because it looks like everyone has gone into the pits. So it looks like no action is out on the track for now. Everyone, all 9 riders have come back to their respective paddocks. But now we're looking at all the riders just getting some refreshments, a bit of a debrief with the team and the mechanics. There you see Kip. He's going to be quite pleased with what he's done so far. 2-minute 10.696. Now he's looking pretty calm. Azrai Kamano as well on that previous lap has done a great job at 2-minute 10.877. Ibrahim Nordin there. He's done a decent job at 2-minute 11.1. He's just shy of the 2-minute 10s, so he can make adjustments and try to get into that front row of the grid for the race later on in the afternoon. Of course, there's still over 23 minutes left in the session, so still plenty of time for the riders and teams to make adjustments. You can see there Adam Nordin, he's having some words with his little brother. What a great reference to have as a sibling, to have Adam Nordin, a name that big, as your elder brother who can give you advice as well. That is such a privilege to have, and it's great to see these riders. They were racing together as well last season, and it was absolutely beautiful to watch them work. You can see that Sharfuddin Azman getting a bit of a massage there, perhaps to reduce the inflammation of the arm pump. That's a common issue for Superbike racers. Of course, that's also being helped by one of the legends of the sport, among Zamani, who has had a huge array of experience all across the categories. You can see that the little machine you see that Sharfuddin Azman holding, that's just to massage the muscles there, reduce the tension, reduce any inflammation that you could have. See that all the mechanics hard at work to try and get the bikes in running order. There you see Daniel Shami, he's making his jump up into the 600cc categories. Great to see him racing and strong once again. Saw him last season, absolutely amazing riding all through the 250cc campaign. He's racing in CV as well and in the Asia Talent Cup. So Daniel Shami really pushing for some great results. Fernando Nishami, he's found himself at a 2 minute 12.596. So a very decent job from him. He's in the top 5. The ones who are really going to have to find something special are the likes of the Yamaha team. The Yamaha Gen Blue Racing team are struggling a bit today. A 2 minute 15.4 for Nazrul Izzat, a 2 minute 15.7 for Ayman Tahiruddin. So he still need to find at least another 2 seconds to be competitive in the fight for the top 5 at least. There you can see Nazrul Izzat looking at the data that the mechanic is showing him. That's one of the luxuries that racing has in this current day and age of the modern society. Having data loggers to pinpoint every single information that the bike receives. And it looks like Ibrahim Nordin, he's already heading out for another stint. He's the only rider that's coming out right now for another stint. And it's interesting decision this early on in the session. Well, that is of course relative. But for now, 20 minutes left, and Ibrahim Nordin, he's out now. Oh, looks like he's not the only one. We have, I believe that's Ulla Santrupt of the Racer Castrol Power One Ultimate Racing Team. Done a 2 minute 27.1 earlier. So Ulla Santrupt Nanda, I believe this is his debut in the MSBK Championship. To turn 15 he goes. He's racing aboard the Yamaha YZF R6. This is of course the team that is famous for donning the legend that comes from India, Mr. Rajani Krishnan, an absolute legend in the two-wheel scene for the Indian National Championship. Here comes Ulla Santrupt Nanda into turn 1 on the Yamaha YZF R6. Just under 20 minutes left now in the session, and we're following Ulla Santrupt, number 28 from the Racer Racing Team. RACR, that is. He comes into turn 4, hard on the brakes and banking it to the right. Ooh, an interesting picture we're getting there. Some clouds moving in the frame, but that doesn't look too threatening for rain yet. We'll get a bit of a weather forecast while the riders are having a little bit of a break. Let's see what the weather for Sepang has in store for us. Right now, of course, the weather is still very clear, very bright, but it is getting a bit gloomy. As you can see, there's not really much of a shadow, so there's plenty of cloud cover coming. But for now, it looks like there is a prediction of rain coming for tomorrow, it seems. But for this afternoon, let's just try and see whether I can get an hourly weather report. But for now, we're looking at Ulla Santrupt as he completes this lap. A decent first sector from him. It's an improving first sector. Ooh, this is very interesting. Rider 89 and rider number 20, that is Khairul Idampawi and Azra Hakim Anwar. They are instructed to go to race control after the session ends. Now, I am very curious to know why that is. We will get as much information as we can for you guys as soon as we know. But from my eyes, I didn't see anything that caught it. So let's see what the information brings. But for now, we follow Ulla Santrupt as he comes across now. He's going to run down the line. Will he improve further from 2:27? And he does at 2 minute 26.854. And if you're wondering, yes, that is the 3 SIC Racing Team riders coming out for their last, potentially last or second last stint. But I believe that's the Yamaha Gem Blue Racing Team ASEAN riders as well coming up behind them. So they're going to try and get that slipstream for the 3 of them. Here's Ibrahim Noureddin. He's the only one riding solo for now. Here's Ibrahim Noureddin. His 3 teammates are all riding more or less in the trio there with the likes of Dennis Shami, Charles Ezwan, and Sharfin Asman. Ibrahim seems to be trying to find his pace himself. Ooh, look at the slide that he puts out there at turn 3. If anyone has just screen recorded that, you would love to make that into a slow-mo replay, because you could just see the rear of his bike kicking out. That was absolutely beautiful, poetic riding from Ibrahim Noureddin. You can see how it sounds contradictory to say this, but smooth and aggressive. I know that almost doesn't make sense, but it also almost does, because it's just the way that he rides. It's really, really beautiful to watch. Now we're following the SIC Racing Team rider, Muhammad Ibrahim Noureddin. Into turn 9, a bit of a slide there as he comes in, but he likes riding like that. He likes having that tail sticking out when he goes out into braking zones. But here comes Kaido Idampawi for the Bunsiana Racing Team, and I think Azra as well was mounting on his bike. But now we follow Ibrahim Noureddin. Yep, the pair of Bunsiana Racing Team riders are coming out now, and it looks like we're getting the whole grid back out on track for the remaining 15 minutes in this session. It is going to be an interesting 15 minutes. Who's going to get the better of each other? Who's going to get onto that front row of the grid? For now, we follow Ibrahim Noureddin, who's on a decent lap, but it's not anything remarkable so far in regards to sector times. Into turn 15 he goes, but he could improve slightly. Chases down the start-finish line. Let's see as he comes across. It's a decent lap from him. It is a 2-minute 11.574, so not improving, but still a decent lap. See the, oh, here we go. Well, Daniel Shami, Sharo Ezwan, and Sharfin Asman, all the 3 of them racing the 3 here. Into turn 9, Daniel Shami trying to go on the inside of Sharo Ezwan there, but unable to get across as they come up into turn 9 and 10. Into 11, looks like Shami darted in front a little bit, trying to catch up to Sharo Ezwan. All on similar machinery. The ZX6s between the 3 of them don't have any differences, so it's a matter of who can get the better of the bike. The weather is starting to get really gloomy. I wonder if in one of the next shots we'll be able to see the cloud cover, but it is getting quite gloomy. For now, the weather forecast is just saying that there are chances of rain, but not definitive. But it is very possible that we might get rain at any time in this session. We know how the Sepang International Circuit works. It is unpredictable. Anything can happen. For now, these 3 riders come across, Sharfin Asman, Daniel Shami, and Charles Ezwan. None of them improving really, except for the likes of Charles Ezwan. He's done a 13.732, so a lot of riders starting to get faster. Nazirul Izzat, he's gone faster, 2-minute 13.732, puts him up into 6th now, and he is very much nearer than he was in the previous stint that he had to the top 5. For now, we follow the pair, the Bunsu Honda Racing Team riders, Azroy Hakim Anwar and Khairul Idam Pawi, as they chase down into turn 3, into 4. And let's see Idam Pawi, like just now we saw his bike had quite a few moments, a massive slide in turn 9 as well. So let's see, into 5 and 6. It is Idam Pawi who leads in front of Azroy Hakim Anwar. Just under 11 minutes and 35 seconds to go for this session, and they're going into turn 7 and 8, a crucial spot. This is typically where the Hondas are strong. They're able to keep their lines and really use that rolling speed. It looks like Idam Pawi, he's on a really, really good lap now. Sector 2, fastest of this session. Into turn 9, Azroy Hakim Anwar with the leg out, but no drama from the pair of them. They keep on going into turn 10. This is going to be a really good lap from the pair of them, because not only is Idam Pawi on a good lap, but Azroy Hakim Anwar as well. He's on a very decent lap. Down the order, Nazrul Iza as well. He's on an improving lap, so look out for him. He might just drop into the top 5s at any moment. But now there's turn 15, the 3 SIC Racing Team riders, except Ibrahim Nordin. This frame, and they come across, and it looks like so, and then there is an improvement. Charles Isran, he goes 6th fastest at 2 minutes 13.6, so everyone really improving now. But here comes Azroy Hakim Anwar and Khairul Idam Pawi. Idam Pawi's on a really good lap, faster through sector 3. Look out for that timing from Idam Pawi. This is going to be a really good one for him as he comes across. Now it's in a 2 minute 9, it's a 2 minute 10.099 for Khairul Idam Pawi, and Azroy Hakim Anwar as well, a 2 minute 10.1. The pair of Honda riders riding absolutely amazing in this session. Both of them hitting the 2 minute 10s low, and it's very possible that they will dip down into the 2 minute 9s because they're not stopping. They're going for another fast lap. And they come down turn 3 now into the run of turn 4. Sector 1 fastest for Azroy Hakim Anwar. He's on a hot lap. Idam Pawi not really matching that sector 1 of Azroy. But here comes Azroy Hakim Anwar into 5 and 6. If Azroy can stitch this lap together, he's going to be well in the 2 minute 9s. And it's going to be a worrying look on the SIC Racing Team, because these Honda riders are really pushing it hard. As they come into turns 7 and 8, ooh, looks like Azroy Hakim Anwar unable to match the pace that he had in sector 1, but let's see what sector 3 is going to bring for him. Into turn 9 comes Azroy and Idam Pawi as they run up into turn 10. No wobbles, no twitches from the pair of them. Both quite smooth when need to be, and both can be aggressive when they choose to be. I'm just looking for that sector 3 split as they come down into 12 and 13. Ooh, looks like decent. It's a decent lap definitely coming from the pair of them, but I don't think it's an improving lap. Let's see as they come across now. Down the back straight, it looks like a gap has been made between the likes of Idam Pawi and Azroy. Into turn 15, Azroy, he's favoring that very, very wide entry, whereas Idam Pawi, he seems to like to let the rear of his bike kick out slightly and just make his way around the turn more aggressively. But here comes Azroy Hakim Anwar. It's a 2 minute 10.2 for him and a 2 minute 11.5 for Khairul Idam Pawi. He just set his fastest top speed of the session though, Idam Pawi, at 253.5 kilometers per hour. And here comes Sharfuddin Azman into turn 4. Ooh, bit of chatter there, but he was able to keep it under control. He's on a decent lap for sector 1, but what a pity that was for Azroy, because I'm just looking at the sector 1 timing. Oh, Khairul Idam Pawi, the only 26-second sector 1 time has just come from him. He's pushing hard. So look out for number 89. It might be a 2 minute 9 coming up very soon. Azroy as well, he's on a very, very good lap. But for now, we follow Sharul Izwan, Daniel Shami, and Sharfuddin Azman. They make their way around turn 8. No drama there. Sharul Izwan having a look behind of... Apologies, that's Daniel Shami having a look behind at Sharul Izwan as they come into turn 10. into 11. To right-hander of turn 10 there that they just crossed is a very tricky one, and 11 is even more tricky as they bang right twice. Kairo Inampawi, he's fastest through sector 2 as well. He's on a very hot lap. That's going to be a 2-minute 9 for sure. And if he does make a 2-minute 9 in this session, that'll be the first 2-minute 0.9 of this weekend. And what a start that will be for Super Kip in this MSBK 600 category for the 2022 season. For now, the trio of riders, Sharul Izwan, Daniel Shami, Sharifudin Azman, they are all coming down the back straight into the last turn. Sharifudin Azman, he's got a bit of chatter here and there. He's going to be needing to improve further. He's already on the front row of the grid, but the two Hondas are pulling away in regards to lap times. And they come across here, the trio of riders from the SIC Racing team, and no improvements except for Sharul Izwan, who's constantly improving every lap. But here comes the two Bunsu Honda Racing Team riders. They're both on very hot laps. They come across now. Kairo Inampawi, a 2-minute 9.726 for him. Azra Hakim Anwar, a 2-minute 11.007. But what a lap that is from Kairo Inampawi, a 2-minute 9.7. As it stands right now, Inampawi is the only rider who's done below a 2-minute 10, a 2-minute 9.7. That was a really, really hot lap from him. And they're still pushing it. Still really good Sector 1 times coming from the pair of them. Ibrahim Nordin there in the pits, he looks like he's made some adjustments. He's not been able to really improve further. He's been stagnant at where he was since his last stint. Right now it's the pair of Bunsu Honda Racing Team riders, Azra Hakimanwar. He's on a decent lap as well. Both of them constantly going on faster and faster laps. Sharifudin Azman, I believe that is, having a look at the pair of them. Ah, there we go. I had a feeling he was waiting for these Honda riders to come across him so he can just latch himself behind them and try and leech off what they are doing. And look at the black lines Kairo Inampawi is leaving on the track. My goodness, this lad is riding aggressively, more twitching from the rear of his bike. Even had a look behind him there. But he is really riding beautifully. I believe in front of him there, that's the likes of Sharul Izwan. He's gonna get in the way of Azra Hakim Anwar, and you can see there Azra is really displeased with what just happened there. Coasting in the racing line, more or less, with Sharul Izwan. And Sharifudin Azman there, he's having a good look at Azrai. I think he's going to try and latch himself behind him. Now here comes Kairo Inampawi. I'm not sure if this is going to be a good lap from him because it is a decent sector timing coming from him, but this comes across there. 10.975. Sounds of the bikes coming across there. Monstrous noises coming from these MSBK 600. But now we followed them into turn 1. I think that was the likes of Ayman Tahiruddin, who's found himself in the middle of this mix. He was looking once again at Azra Hakim Anwar. Got caught up in a bit of traffic in that previous lap. Apologies, that's Nazirul Izzat who's found himself in the mix here. Sharifudin Azman, he looks almost lost for now. Ever since that lap, he's just been looking around his bike, and it was a decent first sector from him as well, so that's unfortunate, but dearie me, he's looking a bit lost for now, but he's still in the front row of the grid, so still a decent position. And apologies, I'm sorry, this got confused for a second. I thought Kairo Inampawi had just gone faster, but it's still the 2-minute 9.7 that he set on the previous 2 laps. We're now into turn 9 are these riders. Azra Hakim Anwar with the pressure from the likes of Nazirul Izzat behind him. Pretty good reference for Nazirul Izzat. He just needs to find about a second or two to really get in the mix for the podium positions. But Azra having a good look behind him. He's going to see that Nazirul Izzat's trying to follow him. You can see there, you just let him pass easy as you like. But now he's going to have Sharfin and Azman coming up behind him. So he's going to have to be really careful to make sure that he doesn't take advantage of having himself as the faster rider in front of someone chasing their lap times down. And there's Ibrahim Nordin as he comes across turn 6. A big backfire there you can see coming from his exhaust. What a shot that was as he came through turn 6 into 7 and 8. That's a beautiful shot. I've never seen that angle before from a caravan. Great work there. Into turn 9 now is Ibrahim Nordin, number 66 for the SIC Racing Team. Goes up the hill into turn 10. This right-hander crucial. The rear tire, you can see that just trying to kick out. It is a stubborn rear tire as you come across there. Another backfire shot there for the Kawasaki ZX6R. Comes down into turn 12 and 13. Here's Ibrahim Nordin. Just a minute left now in the MSBK 600 qualifying. Huge backfire there once again for Ibrahim Nordin as he comes down the back straight. He will get 1 lap as he crosses the start-finish line. Just 1 more lap for him to improve. And it looks like this lap definitely isn't the improving lap for him. He's not going to make it to the front row of the grid with this lap, so he's going to have to retry and push hard on this coming lap. Ibrahim Nordin, number 66 on the SIC Racing Team. Can he make it? As he comes across a 2:11.4 from him. Not a bad time at all. Leg dangling out aggressively into turn 1 for Ibrahim Nordin. 20 seconds left on the timer. The riders have barely any time at all to complete now. Whoever's on a hot lap already, this is their final lap. And it looks like what stands so far is Khairul Idampawi, and it looks like no one else is on a hot lap. And Ibrahim Nordin, he comes across sector 1. It's not an improving lap time. So I have a strong feeling that Khairul Idampawi's time of a 2:09.726, the only 2:09 of this qualifying session, that will stand. For now, Ibrahim Nordin, he comes through turn 6. Can he do something special? Sharfin and Azman, he's on a hot lap. Sector 3, very good for him. Can he push himself a bit further up? Can he make it to second? But here comes Khairul Idampawi. I don't think this is a faster lap from him. He comes across the line. A 2:10.8 for him, so a 2:09.7 is all he could hope for. Let's see whether that remains. Azra Hakim Anwar, his teammate, he comes across the line. He takes second still, a 2:10.5, a decent lap time on that one. Sharfin Azman as well, he's come across, so the only hope for the SIC Racing Team to make it even further into the top 3 is the likes of Ibrahim Nordin, but I don't think this is the lap for him. It's a decent second sector, but sector 1 isn't that great for him. Neither is sector 3, so I think with the checker flag out, with most of the grid already having taken the checker flag, this is what your grid is going to look like. But for now, let's watch Mohammed Nordin, as he goes into turn 15, the number 66 from the SIC Racing Team. And this is definitely not the lap for him. It's just not happened for him today on this weekend. For Ibrahim Nordin and the SIC team, he comes across a 2:11.4 once again. But that takes the checker flag, and that concludes the MSBK 600 qualifying session. Your fastest rider of the weekend with the only 2:09.7. Khairul Idampawi, followed by Azra Hakim Anwar and Sharfin and Azman. That's your front row of the grid for tomorrow's race. The 2 Hondas up on first and second. And these are the provisional results for the MSBK 600. As I said once again, Khairul Idampawi, the only rider to get a time below 2:10s. Azra Hakim Anwar, his teammate, coming very close to 2:10.1. Sharfin and Azman completing the front row for the race later at 2:10.9. Ibrahim Nordin, he comes in 4th with a 2:11.1 as well. Mohamed Daniel Shami in 5th. Nazrul Izzat completing the 2nd row. And in the 3rd row is Shadul Izwan, followed by Muhammad Ayman Tairuddin. Really struggling on the Yamahas this weekend. And completing 9 riders on the grid is Ullah Santruk Nanda. So that concludes the action for the MSBK 600 qualifying session, but don't go anywhere. We're going to have the recap up on your screen shortly, and after this, it is the big boys, the noisy ones, the MSBK 1000 qualifying. Don't go anywhere, stay tuned for more. So for round one of the Malaysia Superbike Championship in the 2022 season, you guys can enjoy live of the action for the qualifying apologies and the warm-ups tomorrow on Facebook, YouTube, and the likes of AstroGo. For race 1 and race 3 only, you guys can watch as well on AstroGo and the Suka app. So stay tuned, you guys have many options to watch the race on, so please do not miss out and join us for the commentary and all the excitement and action that we're going to have all throughout the weekend. We will see you guys there, but stay tuned because we still have action coming up after this. It is the big boys, the MSBK 1000 qualifying session. The horns have blared and the riders are coming up for the MSBK 1000 qualifying session. In combined practice yesterday, the fastest rider on track was Kasma Daniel with a 2-minute 8.1 and Azlan Shah Kamaruzzaman with a 2-minute 9.423. Now for the list of riders we have, of course, Kasma Daniel, Azlan Shah, Ahmad Daniel Haikal, Rajni Krishnan, Osama Mare, Teo Yujo, Hu Chiyan, Rajan Nazim, Iskandar, Tiwi Jin, Muhammad Shukri, Michael Luke Stone, Nick Hani, Nick Mahmood. That's the 12 riders that we have for the MSBK 1000 category. And it's an interesting mix of bikes. We have the Yamaha YZF R1s. Of course, that's Kasma Daniel, Rajani Krishnan, Osama Mare, as well as Raja Nazim and the likes. Sorry, that is the 4 Yamahas that we have, followed by the 2 BMW S1000s, of course, of Azlan Shah, Ahmad Daniel Haikal. And following down the order, we have the Suzukis being ridden by Teo Joe Kuchi Yen, as well as the likes of Tiwi Jin. And we have a ZX-10R as well. We haven't seen the Kawasaki's pop up in the MSBK 1000s for a while, but that's being ridden by Michael Luke Stone and Nick Hadi Mahmoud. He's riding the Ducati Panigale V4R. There you have it, one of the legends of the Indian motorsports scene in India. Rajani Krishnan is almost on the level of a local Valentino Rossi. He's legendary in his records that he's set. And he's back here in the MSBK Championship once again with the Racer Castrol Power One Ultimate Racing Team. And there we have Azlan Shah Kamaruzzaman and Ahmad Daniel Haikal. We've seen this many times. Daniel loves to follow behind the likes of Azlan Shah and take point and take him as a reference. There at the back there you saw the beautiful Ducati Panigale V4R of Nick Hadi Mahmoud. He's on behind the pair of riders as well, so he's going to get a good reference point. By the looks of it, he didn't set a time yesterday in combined practice. I didn't notice that, but yeah, he hasn't had a time registered. So Daniel Haikal there putting the pressure on Azlan Shah. He loves to do this. He always gets a really good time when he follows some of the fastest riders of this category. And it's a very smart, well-played tactic by Ahmad Daniel Haikal. It is also a debut, I believe, for Michael Luke Stone for the Esra Racing Team. 5 and 6 here now. Isn't this a deja vu of what happened last year? Apologies, I almost said yesterday, but last season. The only difference is Kasma Daniel's not in the mix with these two riders, but deja vu moment there for a second. Ahmad Daniel Haikal, he's looking on a really good pace. Both him and Azlan Shah are setting really good sector times as they come across. Up into turn 10 now is the pair of the BMW riders. It is interesting to note Harina Pawi's time was absolutely rapid, because a 2-minute 9 would have put him actually into the top 3 of this MSBK 1000 category. So a really good time that was, but now Azlan Shah, he's just set another really good second time. Kasma Daniel now, he comes out aboard the Yamaha YZF R1 of the Yamaha Gen Blue Racing Team ASEAN. You can see that bit of a gap now between Azlan Shah and Ahmad Daniel Haikal. So Azlan Shah, he's just a bit stronger there at the last few turns, and into turn 15 now is the Malaysia Superbike 1000cc champion. Of course now 2-minute 11.8 for Azlan Shah, so it's nowhere near what we know that he's capable of doing. But then Haikal's time is still running. He's not across the line. It's a bit interesting. It seems that, yeah, but it looks like Ahmad Haikal has not made it across the line, so I wonder what's happened there. But for now, Nick Hadi Mahmoud, he's gotten a good reference. He's at a 2:16.254, so a very good time from him. What's going to happen to Ahmad Haikal? Is he just gone into the pits? For now, you can see there, Kasma Daniel, he's trying to chase down Azlan Shah Kamaruzzaman. Osama Mare, he's come across with a 2-minute 16.6. comes Azan Shah coming down around turn 7 and 8. Just under 35 minutes left. Azan Shah, he's on a very, very good lap right now. Sector 1, Sector 2, even faster than he was previously. So we can expect either a low 2-minute 11s or maybe even dipping below the 2-minute 10s from him. These stitches are really good. Sector 3 and 4. He's running, of course, an older model, the BMW S1000RR. Sorry, compared to the one that he rides in the Asian Championship. Comes across now another very good sector for Azlan Shah. So expect this to be a really good time for him. Oh, a big wheelie as he comes out of turn 14 there. Down the straight is Azlan Shah Kamarazaman. Goes into turn 15, hard on the brakes. Pressing on the downshift, no real movement there from the rear. Really smooth and controlled is the experienced rider. Rajini Krishnan, he just came across with a 2-minute 15.1. We're focusing on Azan Shah. He comes across a 2-minute 8.321. That's the fastest time he's set all weekend, and that's an early warning to the rest of the competition. Big wobble there from Azan Shah, but he kept it under control. But that's a blistering time from Azan Shah Kamarazaman. 2-minute 8.321 already for him and the Horizon Racing team. And out down the order is Nick Mahmoud on that beautiful Panigali V4R. Azan Shah, he's just gone quicker again in Sector 1 momentarily, but Kasma Daniel, he's on his tail, and he's just got even faster, so it looks like Kasma's on a really hot lap as well. These two are gonna really dice it out when it comes to the race. They're already dicing it out now in the qualifying session, and there's still 32 minutes left here, so this time can drop further and further. Kasma Daniel now through turn 6. Kasma Daniel now faster again through sector 2. Looks like Azan Shah's lost a bit of time through sector 2. Ooh, Kasma, huge slide going to turn 9 there, but he kept it under control. He's really pushing hard. But for now, it's still Azan Shah who holds the time, but I think Kasma Daniel is just going to beat him to it. Kasma might even be on a 2-minute 7 on his first flying lap, so this could be a really, really good time coming through. Just looking at the sector 3 timings, I want to see if Kasma Daniel is going to improve further, and he does. He's going to get a really good time coming through here. This is very potentially a 2-minute 7 for him. It comes down the back straight now. It's Kasma Daniel and Azan Shah Kamarazaman into turn 15. Azan Shah there, hard on the brakes. Kasma Daniel sliding into turn 15, the number 127. Very wide entry into the last turn for him, and this is going to be a 2-minute 7 for sure. As Kasma Daniel comes across the line, let's see what it's going to be. It's a 2-minute 7.687 for Kasma Daniel, the fastest time of the weekend so far. 0.5 seconds faster than what he did yesterday in practice, and we still have 30 minutes left in the qualifying session.
Sekarang ini Daniel, Kasma semakin baik jatah masanya di sektor yang pertama. 26.409 itu adalah jatah masa yang dilakukan oleh Kasma di sektor yang pertama, dan tadi Daniel baru katakan beliau lebih pantas lagi jatah masa yang dilakukan oleh Kasma hari ini. Semalam 208, hari ini 207 Daniel. Apa yang menyebabkan kalau kita lihat Kasma semakin baik jatah masanya, dan sekarang 28.893 saat di sektor yang kedua Daniel.
Kasma, he's just doing something right. Look at the slide that he's doing into turn 9. There's no one riding the way that he does. The style, the fashion that he's riding in, it's poetic. It's beautiful, and this is good. This is really looking like it's going to be a 2-minute 6. It's really possible. If I remember correctly, he's done a 2-minute 6 before, 2-minute 6.8, I believe.
Yep.
And he is on charge. Yeah, last year, yeah. So he's on charge. Ooh, sector 3, not the best for him there, but this is still going to be a very good lap time for him. A low 2:07 for sure as he comes across the line now. He's at the back straight, so let's see his entry into turn 15. But do take note, look at his entry into turn 15. It is absolutely amazing. The slide that he takes in. And honestly, in all the racing categories I've seen, I've never seen anyone take turn 9 the way that he does. It's almost like he's riding supermotors into turn 9.
Yep.
But he comes across now. It's a 2:07.5 from him.
20.585 saat. Itu pun catatan masa yang semakin baik kalau kita lihat Daniel. Dan Kasma semakin pantas, semakin laju dengan speed yang dilakukan oleh Kasma. Sebenarnya sebelum ini dia lakukan 2.88. Tak silap saya tadi kan Daniel kan. Dan ini kita lihat ini adalah catatan masa yang terpantas untuk MSBK-B, iaitu Nick Hadi Nick Mahmud 2 minit 16.254 saat. Kalau semalam Nick Hadi tidak melakukan catatan masa semalam, mungkin mengalami masalah, dan hari ini beliau berjaya memperbaiki ataupun melakukan catatan masa di tempat yang pertama bagi MSBK 1000cc B.
Nick Hadi is really doing a good performance so far. Without setting a time in practice, it's difficult coming to qualifying straight away, but he's done a great job already today. But we saw there YAMAHA who had issues as well in practice due to his brakes, but he's doing a decent job. He's in 5th, 2nd for the B group. And here's Azlan Shakar Zaman having a good look at his bike, getting the information back to the mechanics. He's going to need to find something special because Kasma Daniel, he's really on song this weekend. We have TV Jenny's going back into the pits at 2:20.8 for him. That is an improvement from his timing yesterday by 3 seconds, so good job from him. Michael Luke Stone, he's done another 2:23. He's done a 2:23 as well yesterday, but he has improved further. But it's a good debut so far from Michael Luke Stone. He's not too far out of reach from Mama Shukri and Raja Nazin. For now, I believe this is Kuchi Yen, who's still on the track from the the Mobile Loop Suzuki Racing Team. One of the 3 Suzukis which are out in the MSBK 1000 category. Goes into turn 9. You can see the difference between other riders in the way Kasma into turn 9. Other riders, they're trying to keep it composed, but Kasma just slides it sideways into turn 9. Absolutely amazing. One thing I would really like to see is Kasma Daniel on a supermoto machine. I would really love to see that happen because I think it would be absolutely remarkable. But for now, we have most of the riders back in the pits. By the looks of it, we have the top 8, all the top 8 in, I think Tiu Joe has just come out. Top speed so far was set by Ahmad Daniel Haikal, but he hasn't set a lap yet. Like I said, he disappeared on that opening flying lap by Azlan Shine himself. But he has the highest top speed at 291.9.
Dan kalau kita lihat di sini Daniel, Azlan Shah yang melakukan 2 minit 08.321 saat, perbezaan 0.736 saat di belakang Kasma Daniel, dan ini adalah Michael Luke yang kita lihat berada di kedudukan di tempat yang ke-10. Dan kalau kita lihat catatan masa yang dilakukan oleh beliau adalah 2 minit 23.392 saat. Dan berkedudukan di tempat yang ke-11.
Yeah, Michael Luke Stone, this is, I believe, his debut, and he's doing a decent job so far, 2 minute 23. He's just about a second and a half, more or less, away from the likes of Mama Shukri and Raja Nazreen, who are in his category for the MSBK 1000B. So I think he'll be able to find his pace when it comes to race time. Just under 25 minutes left now. Looks like most of the riders are still in the pits. Sama Murray, I think he's just come out for his second stint. Comes past Michael Luke there. Through turn 14 is the pair of riders of Sama Murray. He's on charge for another flying lap. Michael Luke needs to put his hand up way high there. He's probably gonna head to the pits now. He's the only rider riding the Kawasaki ZX-10R. It is quite nice and refreshing to see the Kawasaki back in the championship. We know how strong the Kawasaki's were back in the day. Samara, he's come across with an improved 2 minutes 16.407 for him, so that's a really good lap time. Into turn 1 now, it's the number 44 from Yemen. Here's Azan Shakar Zaman. He's having the most relaxed chat I've ever seen between a rider and a mechanic. He's just looking relaxed and big smiling grin there from the legendary rider. And looks like he was trying to take his mechanic's job there.
Dia punya partner dulu kan. Kita punya partner tiba-tiba dah bawa motor dia ni.
I do miss having Azan Shah in the commentary box with us. It was very lively.
Betul lah dia kata kita. Next year mesti abang akan ada dekat pit. Betul, dia memang ada dekat MSBK tapi dia dekat tempat lain lah dia.
That is
Di tempat lain.
Yeah. You can see the big grin on his face. I think he's just happy being back on the grid after quite a long break due to a pandemic. But for now, Cosma Daniel, he's come out once again. I think he's had the refreshment and the adjustments that he needs to find the 2 minutes 6. And I just want everyone to have a good look at the way he enters into turn 9 because it is something to behold. But looks like some clouds building up in the background there. Hope we can get a bit of a wider shot because but by weather forecast standards, we are expecting rain. So that'll be interesting into the weekend as well. For now, here's Cosma Daniel, as aggressive as ever. The amazing thing about Cosma is when he's on his own especially, he makes aggression look smooth. You know, usually you see riders who are aggressive and they're wobbling here, wobbling there, but he's just so aggressive, sliding in here and there, and he's just making it look like it's just another day walking through the park. Here's Cosma Daniel on the Yamaha Jan Blue Racing Team ASEAN bike. This is of course his first out lap, so don't expect anything remarkable yet from him. But you can see there it's looking very gloomy and dim over at turn 10 and 11. Joe, he's just gone faster for his first flying lap, 2 minute 18.562. That puts him 7th fastest in this grid order so far. Here we're just following Cosma Daniel as he comes across turn 14 in that very, very recognizable pink helmet. Whoa, big wheelie there from Cosma Daniel. We all know he loves to do that. But we see this pink helmet that he's had. He debuted this helmet back in the Capri run of Jumbo. Very new striking design from him and very recognizable, so it's easy to spot him in the midst of the battles. Here comes Cosma Daniel for his first flying lap of his second outing stint. Number 127. Here comes Cosma Daniel into turn 1, looking quite composed there. Bit of a slide as he gets in. Now the Yamaha R1 is a very wild bike, very aggressive when it comes into the braking and the engine braking especially, and even on the throttle. It is one bike that just loves to lift and spin its rear, but Cosma's making light work of that. He's able to just keep it calm and composed, and it's a really good sector 1 timing already from him. Not the fastest, but it's already decent. And the way Cosma rides just suits the Yamaha R1 so well. He's just able to hook it around the corners very well. Through turn 5 and 6 is Cosma Daniel. Of the top 6, he's the only rider still out on track. Him and Tuyu Joe, this is pair of riders who are pushing up for a time now, and it's just under 20 minutes left in this qualifying session. Through sector 2, it's again a decent time from Cosma Daniel, but it's not faster than what he's done previously. You see as well the aggression into turn 9 is very different, so I think he's still just trying to get his bearings, try to warm up the tires a little bit more before he starts pushing hard as we saw him earlier. Previously, just now, Ahmad Haikal, he came out for his first actual stint and he did a 2 minute 12.1, so it's a very good time from him. Still the fastest top speed at 291.9 kilometers per hour. Ahmadinejad Haikal, he's also gone back to the pits. Here's TV Jin's bike being worked on, but here comes Kasman Daniel. Again, a decent second 3, but not fastest for him so far. Kasman Daniel comes across. It should be around the 2-minute 8. Comes across the line, 2-minute 8.5 from Kasman Daniel. So I think he's going to start really pushing it now. See that the weather's looking really, really gloomy. If we can get a big shot later, hopefully we can see what the cloud cover looks like in the foreground, in the background, apologies. Here's Mohamed Shukri, one of the riders who's been constantly in every season of the MSBK Championship. This time he's with the Esra Racing Team and on a new machinery as well, the new CBR. Sorry, not the new CBR, he's on his new CBR 1000 RR. An interesting hat choice there, cowboy hat for Mohamed Shukri's mechanic. This is Summer Murray relaying some information to his mechanic, and there's his bike, the Yamaha YZF R1. Looking at Azan Shah, he's having a look at Ahmadinejad Haikal's bike, interestingly enough. He's just walking around the pits for now. Ahmadinejad Haikal's mechanics hard at work because he's only done just a couple of laps. He came in early and then came out again. Just done a couple of laps, but he did actually a decent time. Faster than he was yesterday. Here we're looking at Teo Yu Jo, who's at a 217.250 on his previous lap that he just completed actually. So here he is through turn 1 and into turn 2. Running a very tight line there he was at turn 2. For now through turn 3 is looking undramatic, looking very smooth. So he's third fastest, apologies, for the MSBK 1000B category. Now we're still following Teo Yu Jo of the MSBK 1000B category, and we still have 16 minutes left in the session, so not much time, but still plenty to fight for. Kasman Daniel, he's still lapping around, but he's just been doing 2-minute 8s, around the mid 2-minute 8s. I think perhaps it could be the time of the qualifying session where Kasman is trying to find his pace. I don't think he's trying to push as much because he's just done mid 2-minute 8s, and perhaps he's just trying to figure out what he can do race pace wise. Because to be frank, a 2-minute 7.585 is an absolutely blistering time. So I think perhaps the likes of Azam Shah, he's the only one that's within striking distance time-wise. So if he's able to make some adjustments and push on forward, he might be able to challenge the timing of Kasma. Now here's Teo Yu Jo, 7th overall, 3rd fastest in the B group. That's what he does as he comes around turn 15. He is on an improving lap time, faster he was through sector 1 and sector 2 compared to his previous best. Across the line is Teo Yu Jo. It's a 16 for him to 17.1, so he does improve his time, but he's still stuck within 3rd of the B group. Just looking at the top speed difference between the likes of Teo Yu Jo and Ahmadinejad Haikal. Teo Yu Jo is on 266 km per hour at the speed trap. Ahmadinejad Haikal did 291.
Masih lagi catatan yang tidak berubah, Daniel. Kasma masih lagi melakukan catatan masa yang kita tahu sukar untuk tidak lumba-lumba yang lain, tapi mungkin kita akan lihat Azlan Shah akan keluar nanti dengan melakukan catatan masa yang lebih baik lagi, kerana catatan masa yang dilakukan oleh Azlan 208 baik yang dilakukan oleh Azlan hari ini, pagi ini qualifying. Dan kita lihat Ahmad Daniel Haikal yang pada awalnya Daniel katakan tidak melakukan sebarang catatan masa pada awal qualifying, telah pun melakukan catatan masa 2 minit 12 di tempat yang ketiga sekarang ini, dengan Rajini di tempat yang keempat. Nick Hadi adalah pelumba yang merupakan kumpulan B terpantas, 2 minit 16.254 saat, masih lagi di tempat yang pertama. Dan kalau kita lihat sekarang ini di skrin, dua pelumba ini, Muhammad Syukri Matzoki dan juga Michael Luke, yang berkedudukan di tempat yang ke-11 dan juga di tempat yang ke-12.
Yeah, Michael and Muhammad Shukri, they've just come out for their second stint of the session. They just 13 minutes left. There's not much time anymore to make adjustments. So it's crunch time. Everyone has to come out if they wish to push on for faster lap times. Of course, Michael Luke as well, he's going to be under pressure in the regards to his bike choice, because he is riding the only Kawasaki ZX-10, so he has no point of reference with any other riders. Through 7 and 8 are the pair of Michael Luke and Muhammad Shukri. To turn 9 now. Number 88, number 555. Ooh, bit of chatter there coming from Muhammad Shukri's bike. He's getting to the braking zone of turn 9. Azlan Shah, he's also come up for his flying lap now. Also Kasma Daniel as well, he's gone back into the pits after doing just about 3 laps. So 12 minutes left now in the MSBK 1000 qualifying session, and we're following the 2 Astra Racing Team riders. Here comes Michael Luke Stone. We're following the rider number 555. Looks like Michael Luke is having a few looks down at his bike, so perhaps having issues when he's downshifting. Now they're coming across the line, and looks like Muhammad Shukri, he's done a 222, a 221, apologies. Sorry, 222.6. Michael Luke Stone, he has improved to 223.224. It's a personal best for him this session and this weekend as well. So he's finding his footings. But he still needs to find a few more tenths to be in the fight between Muhammad Shukri and Rajan Nazim. And now looking down, looking up, apologies. It's Ahmad Daniel Haikal. He's come up for his first stint. Ooh, it's gone really wide there. Rajini Krishna as well, he's out for his second stint now. Fast through sector 1 is Rajini Krishna, so I think he's going to be on an improving lap for himself. But now we at number 99, Ahmad Daniel Haikal, who is down in third for now, 2 minute 12.1. Decent lap time, not disastrous by any means at all. Just under 10 minutes now has been marked for the MSBK 1000 qualifying session. We're still following Ahmad Daniel Haikal of the MME racing team. Support that beautiful new BMW S1000 RR. Comes across turn 7 and 8. He's known to be a very aggressive rider, but he has matured so far throughout the years, and he's been able to control his aggression and use it wisely. Of course, he comes on the Supermoto and motocross background where aggression is really the key, but he's managed to merge that into some fantastic performances, but he is struggling a bit to find the extra few seconds that he needs to be for the fight for the top 2 positions. Now with 9 minutes marked, it still seems that Kasper Daniel is in the pits. He hasn't come out yet after that second outing of just a couple of laps, and it looks like Aslan Shah as well, he's gone back into the pits early on, so it's very interesting to see whether they are just content with the time and whether they're just saving their bike's engine for the race later on. That's all speculation for now, but with 8 minutes left, I don't think they're really going to try and push out for another stint. Here's Amadena Haikal through turn 15. Rushes down the line now. Let's see what he gets as he comes across. It's another 2-minute 12. It's a 2-minute 12.259, so not a bad lap time at all from Amadena Haikal. It still needs to find a few more tenths. Goes wide there, so this won't be a push lap for him. He might actually pit in this lap, because he's only done about 2-3 laps maximum each time he's come out. So we'll see what the decision is from the young rider. Just over 7.5 minutes left now. It looks like the only riders out on track are Rajini Krishnan, Ahmad Daniel Haikal, Gu Chiyan, Mohammad Shukri, and Michael Luke Stone. Gu Chiyan has in fact improved to a 2-minute 17.445 on his previous lap, so he's finding his timings much better. He's closing the gap between himself and Teo Yujo as well as Osama Murray. Teo Yujo there just coming out of the pits by the looks of it. Under 7 minutes left in this MSBK 1000 qualifying session. And I think the picture is being painted right now because it looks like Kasper Daniel and Aslan Shah both are in the pits. And for now we look at Rajini Krishnan, who hasn't been able to improve. He's been stuck at the low 2-minute 15s, apologies. He's been stuck around there. He's been doing consistently low 2-minute 15s, but unable to break into the 14s or the 13s. But now we're still following the likes of Rajini Krishna from the Racer Castrol Power One Ultimate Racing Team. Behind him, coming up the rear, is Michael Lukestone, still looking at his bike in the meter area, so perhaps an issue within his setup, perhaps. Now this is interesting. Less than 5.5 minutes left in the qualifying session, and Kasper Daniel is jumping on his bike. He's only going to get one hot lap by the looks of it with the amount of time remaining. Perhaps he might just make it for 2, but very interesting to come out this late in the session. But now we're looking at Michael Lukestone at Kawasaki ZX-10 are having a great soundtrack. And it's just confirmation on our timing boards that Kasper Daniel has exited from the pit area. He's got 4 minutes and 50 seconds, so he will make it for 2 laps. I think 2 hot laps it should be for Kasper Daniel. Looks like Aslan Shah hasn't come out. Neither has Ahmad Daniel Haikal, so by the looks of it, it looks like they will remain in the pits. Both the BMW S1000 double R riders. And once again, Michael Luke is just looking at his bike every time he's going into the braking zone. A bit precarious as he goes into the brakes. Onto the brakes, actually, I should say. Comes across the line, and my goodness, that Kawasaki's X10R produces a really, really wonderful noise. But for now, just under 4 minutes left, and it's a refuel session right now for Mama Shukri. That's an interesting choice, because there is only 3 minutes and 40 seconds left. So I think the last thing I would want as a rider, if I'm going to push for a really fast lap, is more fuel in my tank. But perhaps he's nearly running out of fuel, so that could be a factor for sure. But it's an interesting move, because with 3.5 minutes left, they're not even pushing him out yet. I don't think he's going to make it up for a hot lap.
Lihat sekarang ni di skrin adalah pelumba yang menggunakan motosikal bernombor 7 iaitu Wijin yang berkedudukan di tempat yang ke-9 kalau kita lihat sekarang ini. Yang menggunakan motosikal Suzuki, Mobil Loop Suzuki Racing Team dan CY Cook ataupun Kochian yang berkedudukan di tempat yang ke-8 2 minit 17.144. Kalau kita lihat ini adalah kumpulan B, Daniel. Dan masih lagi Nick Hadi yang tempat pertama, Osama di tempat yang kedua, Teo Yujo di tempat yang ketiga dan Kochien di tempat yang keempat kalau dalam kedudukan MSBKB. Dan ni kita akan lihat ada beberapa minit sahaja lagi, adakah mereka akan memperbaiki carta masanya dengan Kasma yang kita lihat sekarang ini di skrin berkedudukan tempat yang pertama tanpa dicabar oleh mana-mana pelumba. Azlan Shah 0.736 saat di belakang Kasma yang salah satu pelumba melakukan 2 minit 07 di tempat yang pertama. Dan cantik yang dapat kita lihat tadi, Kasma sliding masuki di selekoh yang keempat. Dan Kasma Daniel yang merupakan pelumba pasukan Yamaha Gen Blue Racing Team ASEAN melakukan carta masa yang terpantas sesi kelayakan ini. Dan beliau nampaknya memperbaiki carta masanya di sektor yang kedua dengan carta masa yang lebih baik 28.878, walaupun di sektor yang pertama beliau melakukan 26.631 saat. Dan kita akan lihat Daniel berapakah carta masa yang akan diperbaiki oleh Kasma di sektor yang ketiga dan juga sektor yang keempat.
He's going for a 2 minute 6. I'm calling it. It's either on this lap or the next lap. He's been pushing for that. And you can see his aggression coming now into this last stint. He wasn't aggressive on his second outing. You can see he was very calm and precarious. He was doing the mid 2 minute 8s. I think he was trying a different tire compound perhaps. Sector 3 not that fast for him, but Kasma, he's really pushing it hard, and no one is riding like him. Like I said, I really want to see him on a super motorbike because he's riding unbelievably beautiful this weekend. And look at him coming to turn 15. It's weird, like I said, it's aggressive but smooth all in one. It's something really remarkable. And the other thing that's actually remarkable is that he doesn't have the top speed of the BMWs. He's quite a few kilometers per hour slower than them. And it's another 2 minute 7.585 for him. 586, apologies. 0.001 seconds slower than his fastest time that he set just now. And he's going to be really pushing it right now. If that Sector 3 and Sector 1 was faster, that would have been closer to the 2 minute 6. But there, a bit of a moment there on the front tire for him. He's pushing it. Let's see what Kasma Daniel can do. He's going to have traffic in the likes of CY Ku, otherwise known as Ku Chien. Look at that movement into turn 4. Decent Sector 1, faster than his previous lap. Bit of a wheelie there as he comes out of turn 4. Checkered flag is out, so he will be ending this session with this lap. Most of the riders are still in the pits though. He's one of the only riders still out. We're gonna follow him now for the remainder of this lap. Turn 7 and 8 now coming for Kasma Daniel. Sector 2, not that much faster at all compared to the previous lap.
Tapi Daniel, kalau kita lihat dalam kumpulan B pula, Muhammad Syukri memperbaiki carta masa di sektor yang pertama 29.631 saat yang dapat lihat di skrin sekarang ini. Begitu juga dengan Osama memperbaiki catatan masa di sektor yang ketiga, 41.991 saat. Syukri semakin baik di sektor yang kedua dan kita akan lihat 2 sektor lagi. Dan Kasma yang sekarang ini kita lihat tapi tiada perubahan yang saya rasa sebab Kasma hanya melakukan 28.896 saat di sektor kedua. Begitu juga sektor ketiga 39.571 saat dan catatan masa Kasma sebelum ini lebih baik dibandingkan dengan sekarang.
Kasma was on a really hot lap, but it was the wrong timing for him. Kushian unfortunately was in his way at turn 10, so he couldn't make it around him in time. For there again, you can see the aggression that Kasma has as he went through turn 15, and he will be the pole man for qualifying and the race leader. Another 2 minutes 7.6, even with traffic by Kasma Daniel. He is starting from pole for the race later. Kuchian comes across 8th fastest overall and the 4th fastest for the MSBK 1000B with a 2 minute 17.144. But we still have riders coming across. Mohammad Shukri, he's still on a hot lap. I think that's him coming across now. Apologies, that's the likes of Osama Murray. So he improves to a 2 minute 16.2. And we're just waiting for Mohammad Shukri to come across. He'll be coming across at any time on your screens. Will he push himself further up? I believe that's Raja Nazim coming across now. He's not on an improving lap, so he comes across with a 2 minute 21.117. I'm just looking out for where Mohammad Shukri is. Oh, he's gone straight into the pits. He was on a faster lap. He could have pushed himself into a higher position, but it's not to be for him today. For now, the provisional results of the MSBK 1000 qualifying. First place with a 2 minute 7.585 poleman, and he will be starting at the front for the race. Kasma Daniel Kasmayuddin. Second is Azan Shah Kamaruzaman Ahmad Daniel Haikal. In third, starting from the second row, will be Rajini Krishnan. Fifth, Osama Murray. Sixth, Nick Hadi. Seventh, Teo Yu Jo. Eighth, Kuchi Yen. Coming in ninth, we have T. Wee Jin. In 10th, Raja Nazim. In 11th, Mohammad Shukri. And completing 12 riders on the grid, it's Michael Luxtor. So don't go anywhere, because after this we will have the Yamaha Y16ZR race Masterclass qualifying. But before that, we'll have the recap of what happened in qualifying.
Qualifying ke?
Qualifying.
Oh ya.
Nak cuba? Qualifying. Ni nak cuba go. Ni nak cuba Y16.
Y16 pula.
Alah.
Okey. Dah, duduk dalam.
Ya, betul nombor 27.
Sama tu pump brake, kata pump brake, brake kaki tu kata fail dia tu, stop dia. Dalam masa yang sama, pump brake, kata fail brake dia, bagi dia fail dia tu ada. Brake kaki, brake tu kaki. Start engine sama rem. Panaskan enjin saja. Rem ATM 3.
Join us once again for the last action of the morning session of the MSBK Round 1 on Saturday. It is the new category, the YAMAHA Y16 ZR Race Masterclass. This is of course the qualifying session as well, and the last qualifying session of this weekend. Now yesterday we've seen the likes of Muhammad Faris Afiz, of course a very familiar name in the Malaysian Cup Prix scene. He was fastest with 253.155. Muhammad Shafiq Rosti as well, another very fast rider, 253.293, and the rest of the grid down below them all very nearby. In the likes of Muhammad Afizi Supad, Muhammad Idul Fitri, Abdullah Qayyum, Abdul Razak. That's the top 5 all gapped within the 0.9 second timing. And you can see these riders have been improving throughout the first practice into the second practice as they get accustomed with the new machinery. We have a lot of names from the One Make Championships as well as the Mira Racing Championship as well. Then the likes of Daniel Johan, Afiq Arif Abu Bakar, Izam Hanafi, Amirun Hazik, Danny Mikhail, Nurdini Uzma, Ahmad Ikram Danish, Muhammad Irfan Danish. A lot of young names, a lot of young riders, but a lot of experienced riders as well in this category. Of course, being a one-make race championship, there is no difference between the bikes. It is all reliant on riders' skill and capabilities. So that'll be very interesting. Of course, it is a very short race later on that we'll be having. Just 6 laps of the Sabang International Circuit. But the lap times for these guys are within the 2:50, so it will feel quite longer. Now we're looking at the timing splits. It looks like the likes of Danny Mikhail, he's fastest throughout sector 1 and 2. Whereas every other rider as well trying to hunt down for even faster timings. Now still a large swarm of riders all on the Yamaha Y16 ZR machines coming through turn 5 and 6. Slipstream is going to play a hugely important role in the race because that's where the riders will get that extra few kilometers per hour down the 2 long straights of the Sabang International Circuit. You see they're already fighting for the slipstreams, trying to get past each other. It is very difficult in a one-make race. It is where talent outshines everything else. And we still have a lot of riders going on decent lap times. Danny Mikhail, he's still going faster in every sector, but he is getting beaten to it by a bunch of other riders. Ahmad Shokan Aizat so far the fastest, the only rider within the 37.3 seconds for sector 1. See him swarm them going up through turn 10. But I did have a look at the Yamaha Y16 ZR that we have for this Race Masterclass one-make championship. It is a very interesting bike. It is very simple, very simply done. It is a one-make race. It's much like if you've seen the NVX Challenge or the Yamaha Petra Super Series. Very simple bikes, just done with enough to make it capable of handling races. No real spectacular tuning like we see with the bigger categories where we have a rider going onto the dirt there at the last turn, second to last turn, apologies. But fastest on track right now is Danny Mikhail Karo Fauzi, a 3:04. But we know that lap time is going to drop much further because we've seen them do 2:53s, 2:54s, all the way down to 2:55, 6s and 7s.
Ramai dia ada 30 buah motosikal yang dapat kita tengok sekarang. Semalam Raya Hafiz melakukan carta masa yang terpantas 2 minit 53.155 saat yang kita lihat di skrin sekarang ini. Lumba yang tidak asing lagi dengan perlumbaan underboard, dan kita tahu nama-nama yang ada dalam ni adalah nama-nama yang sering kita lihat di perlumbaan ASEAN Racing, perlumbaan Malaysia Cup Prix, pelumba yang berpengalaman dalam perlumbaan, dan kita lihat ada juga muka-muka baru, adik-adik. Jadi dalam perlumbaan ini ada senior dan juga junior.
Yeah, that's right. It's a very interesting mix, and I think there's a lot of pride that will come into play with this. Like, you know, we know what Daniel Johan is capable of. We know what Rahimi Nabil Razu is capable of, and it's going to be interesting to see if they start putting the fight towards some of the more legendary names, shall we call it. And it's going to be a big surprise. So it's a point for them to prove they can really show what they're made of with this championship, because you are fighting some of the champions.
Dan kalau kita lihat catatan masa yang dilakukan oleh pelumba ni semalam lebih kurang sama, tetapi ada 6 pelumba yang masa yang dipisahkan oleh ke-6 pelumba ini adalah kurang daripada 1 saat, dan kita dapat lihat satu kumpulan yang sangat besar mengekori satu sama lain untuk mendapatkan catatan masa yang baik, dan kita tahu litar Sepang ini satu litar yang besar, dan mereka memilih racing line yang bagaimana, braking point, dan selalunya kalau dalam perlombaan honeymoon seperti ini mereka akan mengikuti satu sama lain untuk mendapatkan angin dan dapatkan catatan masa yang lebih baik lagi. Dan motosikal ni Daniel, motosikal yang sama, kelajuan yang sama, apa yang membezakan mereka ini adalah daripada skill riding, daripada mana strategi mereka untuk memenangi perlombaan, kerana Daniel sendiri kata kita sendiri tahu ini ke-10 pelumba tahu bagaimana untuk menang, dan 30 orang dalam satu kumpulan yang sangat besar. Jadi kita akan lihatlah macam mana perlombaan pertama petang ini nanti, dan nama-nama seperti Hafiz Ismail, Syafiq Rosli, Alif Daniel, kita ada siapa lagi dalam ni, Zahma Hanafi, kita ada Abdullah Koyum, kita ada Faris Hafiz, Nur Hakim, Idil Fitri, Syukran Aizan. Nama-nama yang orang katakan semua boleh menang. Kita kena lihat nanti Daniel, last lap, last corner.
You already see now. We have like easily in this frame, in this group alone, I think there's more or less about 15 riders. And I think this is what we're going to see all throughout the whole day. We're going to just see a bunch of riders just coming through and really fighting for the top positions.
Minit 55.156 saat yang 155 maafkan saya yang dilakukan oleh Syafiq Rosli tadi. Okey. Ini first time Daniel kita tengok perlombaan Y16Z kan. Kalau Y suku tu kita dah biasa tengok. Kita dah tengok dekat perlombaan Malaysia Superbike, kita dah tengok dekat ASEAN Racing, dan ini pertama kalinya MasterClass ni digabungkan dan kategori baru dalam MSBK ni. Dan perbezaan kalau yang nak dikatakan semalam, saya sempat dah berbual dengan pelumba yang beraksi dalam kategori ini, katanya tidak banyak beza kerana lebih kurang sama underbone bike. Jadi yang apa yang membezakan tu mungkinlah Daniel sebab motosikal diorang standard kan, so yang berbadan kecil mungkin ada advantage untuk di speed.
Yeah, definitely. I think in any one-make race, your body size definitely brings an advantage.
Tapi Daniel, walaupun badan dia orang kecil, dia orang tak boleh lawan senior ni. Daniel tengoklah Conquer 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tu semua senior Daniel.
That is right, because the experience also plays a big role. And like our old friend, which we used to be here, Azan Shah, he used to always say that even though you have a big body, it gives you an advantage in holding corner speeds. You have that weight, you have that extra grip. But of course, on the straights in Sepang, now we have 2 straights. Usually the cup bikes, they'll be racing only half tracks. But with 2 long straights, that's a big advantage to smaller riders. But you can see it's no issue at all for Abdullah Karim Razak as well as for Faris Hafiz. They've been consistently fast, as well as Nur Hakim as well.
Dan Daniel, mereka ini juga mewakili dealer-dealer untuk Yamaha. Kita dapat lihat macam Abdullah Koyum yang berkumpulkan tempat pertama sekarang ini mewakili yang Super Union. Kita ada Syafiq Rosli yang mewakili Tekon Motor, Singdeka Racing yang diwakili oleh Farid Hafiz, Nur Hakim mewakili Tekong Racing, Hiab Air Racing Team pun ada, Idil Fitri, Secret Team, Adib Arshad, BLH Racing yang diwakili oleh Syamil Amsyah. Kalau saya tengok ni Daniel, dalam kumpulan 10 pelumba yang terbaik ni ada seorang pelumba one man kalau di perlombaan di Malaysia Superbike iaitu junior, adik Arsyad yang berkedudukan di tempat yang ke-6. Mana dalam kelompok ni tadi ni, kelompok yang pertama ni. Dalam kelompok pertama ni saya pun kena tengok juga, tak boleh nak beza. Yang saya dapat, kalau saya nak kenal rider tu siapa, saya tengok helmet, saya tengok skill riding, so saya dah boleh tahu siapa. Itu je yang membezakan. Mungkin sebab saya selalu tengok macam yang tengah menunduk 2-3 tu Abdullah Koyum. Itu dari skill. Kita walaupun dia semua sama je, kalau mungkin orang luar tengok, penonton-penonton luar tengok mungkin sama je, tak nampak pun perbezaan siapa rider ni, siapa mungkin tak kenal, tapi kita yang dah biasa tengok ni kita tahu. Oh okey, yang bawa macam ni, oh Syafiq Rosli, oh yang bawa macam ni Izzah Hanafi. So kita dah boleh bezakan dalam kumpulan ni mana yang berada di kelompok dan siapa yang ada advantage. Tapi apa pun kita akan tengok perlumbaan sebenar nanti, sebab di time besar starting belakang sekali pun boleh menang dia.
That's right. It is a one-make race, and if you have seen Underbone 150 in Asia Racing, or even Malaysian Cup Prix in the CP 150 especially, you can start at the back. It's fine. You'll be within the front group by the first corner, and it's honestly like, I mean, just look at it right now. There's nothing to separate this entire group, even though it looks like there's a 1 second gap, but they're all in that group. Anyone can take it when it comes to a race situation. And yeah, it's a really exciting category to watch, because we have so many names, so many different styles of riding, and it just depends on who has the biggest guts and who can really plan their race to perfection. You know who I would have really liked to see in this would have been Hafiz Arofa, because he's a master at planning his races till the end.
Yang penting strategi kita untuk perlumbaan nanti, dan paling penting dekat lintas sepang ni yang paling tricky adalah last corner dia, last turn. Kat situ siapa yang pandai mengatur strategi, mencuri peluang, nak masuk belah dalam ke belah luar ke, kat situ adalah penentunya. Jadi seperti Daniel katakan, memang perlumbaan yang akan menarik petang ini, dan banyak sangat masa yang sekarang ini kita lihat 13 minit 40 saat untuk kesemua pelumba. Rahimi Nabil Razu merupakan juara dalam kategori perlumbaan di Malaysian Superbike di kategori Mira KBS yang kita lihat di screen sekarang ini, berkedudukan di tempat yang ke-7. Catatan masa yang dilakukan oleh Nabil adalah 2 minit 55.424 saat, dan Izzah Hanafi salah satunya pelumba yang sekarang ini melakukan 2 minit 53.992 saat. Izzah Hanafi yang mewakili two-way yang kita lihat di skrin ini, dan kalau kita lihat Daniel di sektor yang kedua terpantas adalah milik Adib Arsyad. Adib hanya berkedudukan di tempat yang ke-10 setakat ini, dan di sektor yang ketiga milik Alif Daniel 49.462 saat di sektor yang ketiga. Dan kita lihat catatan masa yang akan berubah sekali lagi. Baru saya katakan Alif Daniel naik di tempat yang pertama. Alif naik dengan memperbaiki catatan masa di sektor yang kedua 39.047 saat. Baik di sektor yang ketiga 49.462 saat, dan memperbaiki catatan masa 47.325 saat di sektor yang keempat, melengkapkan beliau catatan masa terpantas 2 minit 53.255 saat di tempat yang pertama pada ketika ini, yang mewakili Sunci.
This 12 minutes underway for the YAMAHA Loop Y16ZR Race Masterclass. For the qualifying session for now, Sir Alif Daniel, a 253.255 from him. That's a really good time. Mohammed Hakim, second fastest, 253.758. And it looks like a large group of riders have come back into the pits. They won't have much time to actually set the laps, because they're lapping around nearly 3 minutes per lap. So realistically, with the amount of time left, they can get about 3 laps in. If they come out now, that is.
Dia ada berapa lap dia kalau sekarang ni orang lap yang berapa kalau kita tak lihat, sebab dia katakan hampir 3, tak adalah sampai 3 minit. Sekarang ni dia di lap yang keempat kalau kita lihat sekarang ni. Baiklah, kita lihat sekarang ini yang kita lihat di skrin satu kumpulan yang besar yang berlumba untuk melakukan carta masa 17 itu adalah Alif Daniel 253 Nur Hakim di tempat kedua, Izam Hanafi pada asal di tempat yang pertama 253. Carta masa ini akan berubah lagi dengan kita lihat beberapa pelumba yang tadi berada di dalam pit dan dua pelumba ini Nur Hakim ataupun itu 30 tak salah saya itu adalah Arash Tsunami. Arash adalah pelumba yang baru meningkat naik yang menunjukkan peningkatan yang sangat baik juga. Kita lihat di perlumbaan Malaysia Cup dan kali pertama bersaing di Malaysia Superbike kali ini 13 kedudukan yang dimiliki oleh Arash Tsunami 2 minit 5:16.921 saat 2 saat di belakang Alif Daniel Ahmad Asri di tempat yang pertama dan kita lihat beberapa pelumba yang kembali semula ke pit kerana mereka hanya ada kurang dari 10 minit lagi untuk sesi kelayakan ini. Tidak banyak carta masa yang berubah sekarang ini. Mungkin pelumba yang lain kembali semula ke pit Daniel. Mungkin akan keluar sekali lagi. Nanti kita akan lihat mungkin carta masa akan berubah kerana nama-nama yang di atas kebanyakannya berada di dalam pit sekarang ini.
Yeah, I believe the group that we did see inside the pits now have already come out to start that final push. That is coming quite close there. But yeah, I think they have come up for their final push. They will have more or less about 3 laps at most. Now we're looking at this group of 6 riders going to turn 4, all taking very different lines. This is very reminiscent of what we've seen in the Malaysian Cup pre-rounds previously. I think if that is anything to compare it to, it means that we're going to have some amazing battles for the entire 6 laps that we will get later on in the afternoon. But for now, just 8.5 minutes remain for the YAMAHA Y16 ZR MasterClass.
Dennis Zarif di tempat yang ke-16 bila memperbaiki carta masa di sektor pertama 3:17.918 saat. Pelumba yang menggunakan motosikal bernombor 27 mewakili seorang pelumba yang terjatuh. Itu tak silap saya, adakah Arash Tsunami? Kita akan lihat nanti berapakah nombor motosikal tersebut. Tak silap saya adalah Arash Tsunami yang jatuh di selipur yang ke-9. Dan ini dia Daniel, nampaknya kesemua pelumba berbaki 7 minit lebih. Satu kumpulan yang sangat besar kembali semula gelitang untuk melakukan carta masa yang terbaik. Persoalannya Daniel, siapa yang akan bermula di tempat yang pertama sebab carta masa lebih kurang sama. Dengan kita lihat kumpulan yang besar ini lebih daripada 10 pelumba Daniel dalam satu kelompok ini.
That's right, this is an amazingly large group and I'm just wondering how the race is going to be like. They're going to be all battling for positions. But you can see that Alif Daniel...
Kita nak 3 je Daniel, 1, 2, 3. So
thing,
27 orang kena mengalah.
Yeah, it's I mean, by the looks of it though, the top 3 right now, Alif Daniel, Nur Hakim and Izam Hanafi, they are nearly 2 seconds faster than everyone else. So they might have the potential to pull away, but with a one-make race, it's not likely. I think by the time it starts, 20 riders in one group, instantly.
Kita akan lihat nanti, petang nanti. Dan sekarang ini masih lagi sesi kelayakan dengan berbaki 6 minit lebih lagi untuk kesemua pelumba. Alif Daniel Asri adalah carta masa yang terpantas 2 minit 53.255 saat. Kalau kita tengok di sini Daniel, braking sama, braking point sama, racing line lebih kurang sama. Dan strategi sangat penting dalam perlumbaan ini sebenarnya kerana mereka menggunakan motosikal yang sama, kelajuan yang sama.
That's right. It's all the same bikes, all the same power, and there's 15 of them in this group. Look at them sandwiching. That was Danny Mikael there getting sandwiched. Oh, and someone's just gone off the track there. But everyone is just battling for slipstream, battling for the lines, and it's just getting very, very dicey as they come around the Sepang International Circuit. Do remember, these are stock bikes. Nothing has been really done. It's a one-make championship. This is a pure show of talent and who has the best race planning, who has the best understanding of the machinery early on. Oh, look at that dive there. I wonder who that was. I just dove straight through at turn 14. That's a very strong move. That was Danny Mikael, Karo Fauzi. But that strong move definitely lost him dry. He just got swarmed up by about 6 riders.
Tapi dia kalau dalam perlombaan ni sebenarnya duduk di depan ni yang paling bahaya dia. Sebab kalau depan boleh jadi last kali. Yang last kali boleh jadi depan. So macam mana tu petang ni dia punya strategi tu kan. Tapi saya harapkan cuaca dalam keadaan baik dia sampai ke petang nanti. Kalau hujan dia saya nak tengok satu fighting yang ataupun satu battle yang rancak lah. Sebab satu kelompok yang besar kan, macam-macam boleh jadi. Tantang kita tengok pagi ni qualifying senior rider kat atas. Tiba-tiba perlombaan nanti junior rider yang ada kat atas. Dalam perlombaan macam-macam boleh jadi.
That's right. Everything can just shift within an instant. But the one thing I will say, I would love to see a wet battle in this championship.
Wet battle. Saya baru kata dia jangan wet. Saya nak tengok panas.
I mean, I don't know. It's just the fact that it's a one-make championship, different names.
Bukan Y16 je kita nak tengok dalam keadaan kita yang kering. Kita nak tengok 250, C100, 1000. Dia punya battle tu lain dia.
Those big boys will be interesting as well in the wet. It's going to be experience.
Daniel suka hujan kan, sebab tu Daniel nak hujan kan.
That is also true, yes.
Dia nak sliding yang masuk semua turn.
I mean, I would love to see how a young rider in this category can master conditions.
Tapi kalau kita bersaing dalam keadaan kita yang basah, tak puas tau.
That is true. That is true.
Tak dapat speed tu. Bayangkan kau dengan high speed tu kita tak boleh on betul-betul on.
That is true. That is true. But then it's a test of faith in the tires. Whether or not the tires will hold grip.
Okay Daniel, 3 minit lebih lagi, masih lagi Alif Daniel terbantas sekarang ini. Ini sebenarnya catatan masa perubahan yang dapat kita lihat. Orang katakan last lap untuk pelumba-pelumba ni yang akan sampai kerana 2 minit 53 catatan masa untuk 1 lap. Jadi mereka ada 1 lap lagi untuk memperbaiki catatan masa ni. Adakah Alif Daniel akan kekal di tempat yang pertama ataupun catatan masa kedudukan ini akan berubah. Kita akan lihat pelumba mana yang buat pertama kalinya kategori ini, dia akan bermula di tempat yang pertama pada perlumbaan petang nanti.
I'll tell you who is struggling a little bit in this qualifying session. It's been Muhammad Faris. Faris Hafiz, he's been down with a 255. Yesterday, he was doing a 253.1. He was the fastest rider. Still is the fastest rider, the fastest lap time done in this category. But he's just unable to find that extra bit that he needs. And he's back in the pits already now, so I wonder whether it's just his bike feeling or something just not hitting it right for him today. But Alif Daniel comes across still a 258 that was when he came across. So that's miles away from what he's capable of. Look at this large group here. Everyone taking a different line, pushing and shoving. Oh, this is something to behold.
Betul saya katakan last lap. Final push. Ini yang kita katakan tadi Daniel. Catatan masa ini, percayalah cakap saya Daniel, akan berubah. Kerana mereka ada 1 lap yang dah flying lap yang kita akan lihat berapakah catatan masa Lufisha yang naik di tempat yang ke-7 sekarang ini. Tapi kita akan lihat kerana mereka baru saja melepasi untuk masuk ke selekoh yang pertama sekarang ini. Satu kumpulan ini, siapa yang akan merebut di tempat yang pertama?
Sorry, I just saw all the movements and it just took me by surprise. But it's amazing. But Luffy Shah's having a good ride.
Yeah.
I think it's a really good timing so far for the young, very young rider. 255.275, respectable time, and he's in 7th, so he's in good position to be within the front group. Abdullah Qayyum, he's on a very good first sector, and down goes Danny Mikael. That was Danny Mikael, I believe, number 2.
Yep, number 2.
Oh dear, I was lucky to get away from that. Takes a look at his hand. Not sure whether he hurt his hand in the process of that. I wonder what happened there. It wasn't really that clear.
Ini yang kita takut nanti dia.
Exactly.
Inilah perebutan yang kita lihat sekali lagi. Bagaimana dia?
Oh, okay, I see what happened there. Him and
Nur Hakim Nur Hafizullah.
Ahmad Shamil, I think it was number 9.
Oh.
So they came too close, and yeah, they took out his front tire. So I think the bike's not starting, so that's why you saw that picture there of him at turn 4. So that's unfortunate. He was improving, but that will be the end of the session for Danny Mikael. And with the end of the session, right now the checkered flag has come out. It will be waving as these fast riders come across. Look at this group of riders. This is unbelievable racing to watch. We are going to witness something else for race 1 for this category.
Dan kalau kita lihat, ini satu kumpulan yang besar lebih daripada 10 pelumba ini yang sekarang ini menuju ke beberapa selekor sahaja lagi untuk mendapatkan checkered flag. Dan catatan masa kalau kita lihat yang baik di sektor yang pertama hanyalah Abdullah Qayyum, dan sektor yang kedua yang baik adalah Syafiq Rosli, dan mungkin catatan masa tidak banyak berubah, tapi kita akan lihat bagaimana kumpulan ini yang akan sampai terlebih dahulu. Untuk catatan masa bagi sesi kelayakan ni, adakah Alif Daniel akan kekal di tempat yang pertama? Saya rasa akan kekal, kerana kalau kita lihat di lap timing ini tidak banyak perubahan yang dapat kita lihat. Tapi last corner ini adalah gambaran kita Daniel dalam perlombaan sebenar nanti, dan kita lihat siapa yang akan memperbaiki catatan ataupun kedudukan untuk petak permulaan perlombaan petang nanti, kerana mereka telah pun sampai ke checkered flag dan tiada sebarang perubahan. Dan ini adalah kedudukannya dengan Alif Daniel Muhammad Aswi yang melakukan catatan masa terpantas hari ini 2 minit 53.255 saat, akan bermula di petak yang pertama untuk perlombaan petang. Keputusan untuk sesi kelayakan YAMAHA Loop Y16ZR Race Masterclass. Alif Daniel akan bermula di petak yang pertama, Nur Hakim akan bermula di petak yang kedua, Izham Hanafi akan bermula di petak yang ketiga, Abdullah Qayyum di petak yang keempat, Idil Fitri Mahadi akan bermula di petak yang kelima, 6 Syafiq Rosli, 7 Lufi Shah, 8 Faris Hafiz. Di petak yang ke-9 akan dimiliki oleh Rahimi Nabil Razul, Syukran Aizat di petak yang ke-10, Syamel akan bermula di petak yang ke-11, Fizi Suad 12, 13 Adib Arsyad, 14 Daniel Johan, 15 Muhammad Adi Putra, 16 Arash Tsunami. Di petak yang ke-17 Muhammad Zaki Ahmad Zamri, 18 Aidil Muhammad Ayub, 19 Muhammad Danish, 20 Muhammad Afiq Kari, 21 Syamil Akmal, 22 Muhammad Adam Haikal Jaha, 23 Ikram Danish, 24 Muhammad Danish Aiman. Di tempat yang ke-25 adalah Muhammad Syarul Izwan, 26 Amirul Haziq Johan, 27 Danny Mikael, 28 Faiz Khairul Azmi, 29 Muhammad Irfan Dani, dan petak yang terakhir akan dimiliki oleh Nordini Uzma Abdullah. Jadi tamat sudah sesi kelayakan untuk YAMAHA Loop Y16ZR Race Masterclass.
So that was all the qualifying action for today. After this, we'll have a quick lunch break and we'll have the MSBK 250 race kicking off at 2:05, followed by the MSBK 600 at 2:50 p.m. And then the big boys, the MSBK 1010 laps at 3:35 p.m. And to conclude Saturday of round 1 of the MSBK Championship, we will have the Yamaha Y16 Race Masterclass. Catch us live on Facebook, YouTube for the Malaysia Superbike Championship, as well as AstroGo on the app, as well as Suka. We'll catch you guys after the lunch break. See you guys later.